shit. I got beams, I got Glocks, I got hits. I'm the man.
Greetings, salutations, everyone. It's a fast pass discussion. I'm telling you now. I don't want anyone bitching to me in the comment section. This is your warning. Fast pass discussion. In 3 weeks, you're good to go. This is what season 3, 61, 62, 63, and then I think it's 478 to 480. That we'll be covering. So 3 chapters today. But what's good, everybody? Say something. See you out the chat.
Yes, sir. We getting ready for this fast pass glory.
You already know.
Yeah, we here. Tower of Baam, you know how it is.
Tower of Goat, Tower of Greatness,
Tower
of Beams. Yeah, Cage Gods.
Tower of Orbs.
Tower of Karaka.
That is a fact. Did I hear it? What's going on?
It is really a fact. No, I really have been enjoying.
Incredible.
I've been enjoying the Karaka stuff as well, especially with Chioni when like trying to get as soon as possible towards Baam when he learns that that Kallavan's in the area. Hits him with the darkness, sends her away, and then he goes to Kallavan. I thought you were fighting Chioni. He's like, I was. And he's like, where is she? If I told you that, I have to kill you. It's just so rad. Like talking to Kallavan like that, like I just love that swagger, that Karaka. Doesn't back it up whatsoever, absolutely not. But the thing is, I still love that because when Karaka communicates with Baam, he doesn't say like I'm about to smoke Kallavan and then you can go ahead. He says I'm gonna distract him. You stay from afar just like we did when we were fighting Yama in the cage, and then I want you to get over and deactivate the spell. So I do like when vocally, like when he's talking to his opponents, he doesn't show any fear or anything, but on the inside he really does know it's not going to be the easiest.
Be like, fight. I want you to sneak that nigga when you're not looking.
Exactly. But how have you guys been feeling about Karaka's development as a Slayer throughout this war arc? Because I know there has been some conflicts within the Tower God community on how Karaka is kind of. I don't think it's a 180 fully, but just the comparison of Karaka in the beginning and then Baam and Karaka Jinsung friends type thing.
Wait, who's going?
You already started speaking and no one was
talking.
No one was talking.
I muted my mic waiting for a nice response. He said, "Who's talking?"
Yeah, nah. I thought I saw somebody mic moves. I didn't fuck on them. Nah, but
no, mine will probably get feedback.
Yeah, I think after reading like this shit like 3-4 times before I started doing my videos and shit, I kind of realized like there was a little bit of hints and stuff there, not as much as we probably wanted to realize or pay attention to. But overall,
rationalizing, or is it are those the circumstantial things that you could spin anyway, depending on how you look at it? Because that's the thing when people try to like you didn't get that impression when you first read it. Just after hindsight 2020, now you're seeing it 2020. So we're not doing that. That's not gonna fly here.
Hey,
I get what you're saying as well, though. I would say starting really towards the back end of the Hell Train arcs, you could kind of see a little bit of respect. I wouldn't say like friendship, but respect just because of the respect that Karaka has for Jinsung. And I know that the training that they go through isn't the easiest because of how Jinsung's character is. So it's kind of like, okay, you got through something as similar as me and you have respect for somebody that, I love and care about. Maybe it's a different kind of love that Baam, that Karaka has for Jinsung that Baam does, but it still is a form of love. So I could see that string, but the full-on friends and some of the rapport that they have now, it can be a little bit offsetting here and there because, like, I could see we have a common goal in beating Kallavan, and the only way we could do it is if we're teamed up together. I could see that, but they'd be jokey here and there, and yeah. It is a little off-putting.
It's good, man.
See you with the anime you wreck, okay?
Yes, sir.
Tattoo in the back. I actually, you know what's funny? After that last episode came out, I guess in my recommended, it must have showed everyone that do a rec video, and hello people who don't read it were like, "Yo, this guy is a fucking monster, bro." I'm like, y'all just watch this video out of context.
They just watching it for no reason.
Yo,
Like,
this
yeah.
guy's like, I heard the name of the anime, I left impressed. I was dying of laughter. Like, y'all just read ahead.
Yeah, they don't. There's some people that's which is an interesting because for me personally, I can't do it. But some people will get more enticed when they see minor spoilers
My boy,
and
that's like that. He's
Yeah.
That's actually me
he's at the
to
pit of
100%.
anticipation to get to that.
That's
moment.
me for a
Mhm.
bit. That's me for a little.
Bro, I recently just finished what is it called? Yutori no Shito. It's translated to like the outcast, like martial
Mhm.
artists and shit.
Mhm.
And like this one bitch was find out that like this one bitch is like semi-immortal or some shit. I instantly just hit Google like, oh shit. And then I was going crazy because like the wiki for the actual show wasn't finished. I was like, where is this shit at?
But yeah.
But Joey, how do you feel about the recent Stringer chapters so far?
Listen, I'm a white stan, so I've been eating people back. I told everybody like put some respect. Everybody was saying like, "No, man, white's gonna get washed, man. I don't understand, man." I'm like, all right, like
I honestly didn't know what to expect. I'll call myself out. I don't know what to expect.
I don't want to. Let's not start off there because I have some stuff for that. But let's start from the beginning chapters because
wait, what's the beginning? I'm sorry, what's the beginning chapter? My bad.
I'm talking. We're pretty much talking about the beginning of.
But the fast, right?
Yeah, let's just say like, what is it? 477 through like 480.
It's 478, but I don't mind talking about 478.
But like 477 is still the beginning of like the Kuraka and Baam versus Kallavan fight, right? And yeah, and then there's the small subset of what's going on with Ivanka and the sniper, and then there's the Yama and the nest and stuff like that. So
the other brothers
Okay.
against
Nigga really
Exactly.
traded
the
in the
Windbird.
local, yeah, exactly. So we're starting pretty much from what I asked them is how they feel about
Karaka.
Bam and Kuraka teaming up and kind of how their rapport has changed now.
Oh
that they
yeah, I
have-
could definitely just like I agree with what you're saying. I could see how people would be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Mhm.
And like, I definitely like certain things. Like, I don't want them to be like buddy type shit.
Yeah, yeah.
I can see the mutual like that's big brother.
It's
you know,
yeah. It's what I like that White is keeping with. It's what I like that White is keeping within his personality, even though he's got.
Yeah.
I know we said we're gonna jump to that later, but it's like there's a singular part where he goes like, "There's something that I still want from that boy," and he's looking at Bam, obviously. So like,
Yeah,
even once all this is done, like exactly, it's still on site. Like you know what I mean? Like that's what I want Karaka to keep with Yuri, Bam, all of them. It better still be on site with Yama. Now that can be. Since Bam is kind of helping him towards his ultimate goal of revenge right now, I could see that being more of a buddy. Yeah. But everyone else, there's no reason for it except for, hey, you did me a solid, so maybe I'll look the other way once. But aside from that, it still better be on site like it was before because it really was on site.
yeah, no facts.
What about you, Pat?
I feel like when you look at when Karaka was first introduced to us, he was super intimidating. He was like, every time you saw Bam, he wanted to smoke him on sight because he was one of the Jinsung students. He was like, I should be the only one that should be taught by Jinsung. So, like, when you go back to the beginning of season 3, when you go back to the beginning of season 3, like, Karaka and Bam being, like, cordial wasn't that surprising to me, but I feel like their relationship definitely got a lot closer in a very short amount of time. And I was like, why is he acting like they're friends now? Like, it was a little sudden for me because based on the way that he was introduced to him, and then now you're looking at him, they're like, we're both Jinsung students, so we need to work together. And then he's acting very, very friendly to him. And I'm just like, hold up. Because Kuraka is one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm. The only thing about that I do like is, yes, it does feel like it's coming out of nowhere, but we do keep getting these snippets now of Kuraka and Jinsung together. Like one of my favorite parts in this entire war arc, and I know this is crazy, but is the part where Jinsung, like Karaka is kneeling in front of Jinsung, and he goes like, "Do you like this gift that I got you?"
You know
And he's
how
like,
many
"You've been."
niggas were roasting me for that
We were
panel?
clowning him.
They were
Yeah,
And he's
clowning
like-
me, bro.
clowning
I
him.
was
And he's
getting
like, "It's a bit
clowned.
different,
Thrown
but
right
you've
on
been
his
wearing
feet.
armor for ages." So I want to know Karaka's age first off, so bad, because that's so imperative to how important his character is going to be down the line, and why his like power level is at what it is right now for a Slayer. But we can talk about that in another section. You know how we had a Karaka, how we did one of those Yuri videos. That would be a nice thing we could do for Karaka. But anyways, but yeah, when he says like, yes, master, thank you for this wonderful armor and all this stuff, and I'm going to use it to achieve our highest goal, which is obviously getting rid of Zahard. And he's like, this armor isn't for revenge, it's for surviving. Like, that just hit different. And to see that connection between them, I could get it. Like, I would be able to ignore one of my biggest enemies to try and save someone that's a father figure or something like that for me. So like I said, the buddy stuff here and there, but I can look over it for our boy Jinsung. But yeah, I love that. I love that panel. I've loved a lot of the insight we've been getting to some of these relationships, because that was one thing that Tower of God, like, yeah, we got main group interactions, but there's so many important characters out there, and I need explanations as to why you care about this person so much, rather than he's just so strong that you respect him. You know what I mean?
Bro, Jin Sun is just so goat that like he trained Karaka to have layers in his
Yeah, exactly.
That's just facts. You can't deny it, Naya.
I mean, Nelly, what are your thoughts? I'm going last, so.
I have similar sentiments to most people here. Just like, it was kind of off-putting because obviously Karaka's been easily one of the more like dangerous antagonists, and then now it's kind of weird seeing him like on our, and then not only on our team but also acting like the way he is. But like, you brought up some good points too, saying we're getting some flashbacks and hints how much he loves and respects Jinsung, but that just begs the question why the first interaction we've seen on screen went the way it did. He doesn't remove his master with people he doesn't trust, something like that. And then obviously implying he doesn't trust Jinsung. So what I just need is just if there was like a rift between them. I won't say a rift, but like it's probably like a petty reason, but I know there's a reason why he said he doesn't trust him. So I think we might get that later down the line. Not too sure, but I would, if let's say you would give that like kind of reason why the first interaction went that way, I'll feel a lot better. And but yeah, like you mentioned White kind of keeping the same energy. I do appreciate that. Like as long as White,
That was
yeah, because him being buddy would have been too weird, way too weird.
Like I mean, like, oh, you was acting. Okay, I can see. I can live with that.
Yeah,
he said,
yeah, because he's a snake. Snake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get that.
Hold on, but let me to add.
I'm gonna get that.
What's going on?
What's going on, brother?
What are we on?
We talking about your goat, Karaka.
Yeah, Karaka,
Hey.
Hey,
The god of
How do
FUG.
you feel
Nah,
about his
but-
current portrayal and whatnot?
Oh, this shit stinks, but that's my god, so I gotta come full
hey,
support.
that's
gender
you know, like
moves.
that dope.
If you're the
Yeah.
same
Go-
one as me, I'm
going-
I'm gonna ride out to the end, but this is not it.
Going into a little bit of what you were talking about with like how he doesn't trust Jinsung, I feel like all members in FUG kind of have one similar goal, but it's kind of like the thing with the people that are riding with Baam. They're kind of all using each other to get their own things along the way too. So I don't think they all fully trust each other, but they just hate that one man sitting up on top way more than anything else. So I think that might be a
All I'm
reason.
going to add to that is like, actually, when I reread, I need to find these, but there is a point where I think Jin Sun at some point was outside of that one time where Karak and him was talking. There's a point where they were showing a flashback between them, and he was pretty much, it was like the same way he was kind of like treating with Baam. Like, the somewhat hard, but how would you put it?
Tough love.
Yeah. It was kind of more like that.
Yeah.
So personally, I think when he said that to him, it was more like,
Yeah.
not to mention, we're talking about the fact that we possibly think he's one of the Jihad sons. So it's like, you trying to give my job to somebody else?
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Especially
like,
that's the ultimate revenge to when you got
I
beef with your father. Yeah, you don't want
yeah.
anyone else to get the job done except for you. I could 100%
Yes,
see
I
that.
feel like that statement was more of a like, nah, nigga, I don't fuck with you right now.
Hmm.
Like completely. Oh well, I've never trusted you ever, like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm also loving in this war arc. This is a little bit of a tangent from Karaka, but it's also a part of Karaka because we saw his armor inventory for a second with his armor storm. I'm loving that they're using more weapons and tools and stuff in
Yes,
these
sir.
fights because not one, of course, Tower of Beams, like that joke is funny too,
I
but
mean, Tower of Orbs.
like yeah, Tower of Orbs too, but
Tower of
only the
Bangs.
rawest of raws get orbs, but yeah, it's just more realistic when you're fighting someone with as much raw power as Kallavan. Like when he used the armor, like the scales to like kind of stop the explosion and then get closer to him so he could use his airwave. Like seeing Karaka use airwave, whew, boy, that shit hit different. That panel was looking nice. That white
Yeah.
crow, yes sir.
Did zero
That was
damage.
nice. Yeah.
Shut up, Stinky. You see, yeah. This is why I'm getting to once we talk
Took
Double
about
white crow
because
skill.
y'all saying white is
He's
raw.
still at 100.
We can get all to that, but everyone's saying white is raw. Like the only person that didn't do damage and he acknowledged it was Bam. So I don't want to hear nothing on that. I don't want to
Talk
hear
your talk.
nothing.
I'm
What you talking about?
not a white
I don't
stat.
want to hear
I'm not a white
nothing.
stat. I don't care.
No, I know, but everyone's saying white raw this, white raw that.
No, 'cause
That's
White's
fine.
actually
He
putting
is.
up a fight, and no one.
Is he? Is he? He's pushing him back a little
What do
bit.
you want to
It's a
expect? Because he all White does is suck his own dick and do 2 attacks and he tired. So
Exactly. I mean, I guess putting up a fight is giving slight damage, and then this man grows his arm back and says, "Are you ready?" Question mark. Like, I don't know.
He didn't really.
But what has Kallavan done to him?
What'd you say? What has Kallavan done to him? I'm not saying that Kallavan's washing him, but like people saying that he's washing Kallavan or like
I mean-
Karaka didn't do no damage. Like no one's really done damage except for the sneak attacks.
Hey, low key, like when you think about it, it's like he took the nigga arm off.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a feat in itself that you just have to give. I don't give a damn.
White took his arm off.
I don't see
Well, he Kallavan exploded his
Yeah,
own arm off to mitigate the damage.
Yeah,
but essentially you could give that to White because it was his attack.
I mean, I guess.
You gotta,
Like,
you
a lower
gotta.
level
if-
fighter.
Wait, hold on.
A lower level
Okay,
fighter.
yeah.
give his
would-
credit.
Like-
Give his
No,
credit.
I don't know, bro. Because there's some. If he were to sit there, right, and say like, "Damn, I didn't," but he literally, not even 0.2 seconds later, grows an arm and says, "Are you ready?" I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't
Alright, you
look
got
at
it.
White and say that's. He fears that man for something he just did.
Who has had a physical feat to show that?
All right,
Don't get me
all
wrong.
right,
Don't get me
hold on,
wrong.
hold on,
White
hold on,
going
hold on.
crazy,
We're
but
gonna get
yeah,
to
it's a
all
big
this.
tangent.
Let's just kind of run through 61 real quick, right?
Oh man,
I want to talk about the sniper. Van
Oh,
Kel,
God.
and could
Trash.
could
Man,
and
trash.
Isu's joints, big brain moments, joints,
Yes, sir.
joint, put respect on his
Joints.
intellect, just as intelligent, but yeah,
Wasn't
I actually was like,
intelligent enough, no one's
I was like very impressed with this part because I'm like, okay, like I wasn't really expecting much strategy. I'll be keep it real with you, I wasn't. So like the fact that he was able to like find out where she was because of the way that Ree was moving, and then Clint's like, yo, go here, get the teleporter. I'm gonna get this so we can get the win. He wasn't even doing this to get the sniper. That was Van Kel's.
Yeah.
Van Kel's like for her to go burn. Is it real? Go burn her after the fact. But the fact that he did that to take out the Windbird's core, where the leader was inside or whatever, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
shit.
that was clean. Yeah.
That's the kind of thing
Ridiculous.
that I like when I know you're outmatched, but you've been smart and clever to win.
Yeah.
We know the Shinsu bullet is a pack with the administrator and is powerful. Taking advantage. So we know that this fucking Lobopia Windbird family leader is not going to be safe.
It's getting washed,
So
yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
the sequence of all of that to me was beautifully done.
And-
I was impressed
It was
because
pretty
nice. And a side tangent on that too, like the fact that they continuously show that certain people have like different affinities with Shinsu and like being a spear bearer and stuff is really cool, I think, because like she's still technically a spear bearer but has different types of, attacks and long range stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, when I read that whole setup with Kun and Ivankel and Shibisu, that honestly reminded me of Luffy and Law's plan against Doflamingo with the Red Hawk. I was like, yo, these niggas on some 5D chess right now. Like, that shit caught me off guard. I was like, what you gonna do with the teleport? It was like, damn. That shit was fire.
Have you guys been enjoying? I actually have been enjoying the Doom and Paul kind of tag team.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
I didn't think I was gonna care because it's fucking Paul, but
Yeah, 100%. We've talked about this before. Yeah, we've talked about this before, Hems, because now this throws into if Paul was nothing and he just is fodder in this war, that dynamic of who is gonna survive and out of the three brothers and the leaving the cage, taking care of cage, one might die, revenge story, then that doesn't exist. But with all three of them being viable characters and strong enough to be leaders, now you get Doom survive and take care of the cage afterwards and try and rebuild. Paul might do it. Doom might get the revenge thing. Yama might end up with it. It adds so many more dynamics to it that you actually are intrigued. Before, it was like, who's this green haired dude that looked like he wearing a G-string? Like,
well, now that we have like this man, Baam, damn near stealing Doom's powers. So
my goat.
Like that. How do we have that? Like, I feel like.
I feel it. Well, yeah,
But Doom is gonna die, and Paul is gonna step up. And if anything, I feel like Paul go along to support Baam in certain way.
I think he's gonna lead the cage.
I think Paul stays cage. Doom dies. Yama gets revenge.
For sure. I think Doom is dying.
And I think
even go become a real.
Yep, and I think in the future, like you're saying, Paul will be a good leader, and he'll be
Yama's gonna call upon him, and he's gonna have.
Exactly. He come through with the fleet looking dummy. He's gonna have
nice.
He's gonna have his glow up too, looking all raw. He's probably gonna get some Fang stuff from Doom or something.
His name might be Paul, but he's come a long way.
He might be Paulinho after all this shit, boy.
Paul Lord.
Yes, sir. But we also can't graze over the Doan Cha stuff, by the way. So I'd like to talk about that afterwards because that's my biggest gripe. With this arc. My biggest gripe.
It's about to be misogyny hour in here with the Doan, bro.
Trash. Cha is goated. She's trash.
I'm gonna just say this about Doan, right? When she first came out of being sealed, and she was talking about how, like, on the battlefield, people fight for what they believe in, and then the warriors view war as like an everyday thing because they're fighting for a better future. But like the common people view war as nothing but an unnecessary struggle, and it causes so much strife. I was like, yo, she's making a very good point.
She was spitting, and then she
throw them hands,
and then Kallavan came and said one word and changed her whole mind.
Oh my god. Ever since then, she was like, I'll join you, but I'm not on board with you.
Yeah,
and
like,
Kallavan's about to kill Baam. She's like, wait, there's no need to kill him yet. Like, whose side are you on,
like,
bro?
She's so dense, bro.
She doesn't even know if they're there or not there. She
has
no idea what's going on.
Cha's like, you're believing people we were fighting against all these years ago, and you came out of, like, when she came out of the wall spitting, like, yo, y'all put me away just to still be fighting. I thought she was gonna go crazy. I was like, okay, this might be a great dynamic. The way her sister is, the people, I get that, that analogy for how
but she's a burger, cheese, no lettuce.
But she's a burger, cheese, no lettuce. Absolutely no lettuce, no mayo either. Like,
no ketchup.
And one of my gripes is that
burger not well done.
That morality's not gonna fly here. In
yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing with me, right? I feel like there comes a point when if you're gonna make a certain decision, there is no turning back from it, right?
Yep.
Right? So like,
She's done it like
I
5
don't like.
times.
I don't like. I hate when I see a villain that has or a character has so much conviction in something, and then something very small makes him go, you know what? Nah, this is not it. Like that's the.
Ah,
You
no,
were willing to go
Like,
this far
bro,
to this far
yeah.
to do this thing. That means you believed in the cause. You're not gonna come out here with all this willy. Like she's
Nagato head ass.
if she came out and just was like, you know what, I'm out, I don't want to do it no more, and she was resolute in that, I'm like, it is what it is. It's the fact that she's
Yeah,
literally
like-
I don't know what the fuck is going on in her head, and then you be a dad
Like-
and be like, Cha, you didn't come here to see me. That's not funny.
Cha,
That's
listen.
not funny.
Like,
That's toxic
yeah.
romance bullshit. I'm not laughing. That wasn't
Like, she's like, we fought for nothing, destroyed and tormented people for revenge. Talks about the captain. I'm like, okay, maybe, he jumbled up her mind because, he's linked to Jihad in some way, and he's always constantly playing mind games and his foresight, destiny. Okay,
Yeah,
I could see that.
I wanted to talk about that.
I could see
he
that.
played
The strings
side.
being pulled, but no, she's just dense.
Go ahead.
Like, did Jihad really pop up and they not know what he looked like at all and play both sides?
Wait, what did you say?
What do you mean?
Because according to her, the person that was talking to her about like
The captain.
coming and the peace that out,
Mhm.
yeah, like that got her thinking the way she thinking looks like Jihad.
Yeah,
And then who got shot thinking what he thinking look like Jihad. So it's like he's sitting here just playing niggas for fun.
the thing is, like, what everyone's kind of coming to a conclusion now is Wangna and Karaka, Captain, all have 3 different parts of Jihad, so they might
Right.
be different clones that are failed experiments, etc., etc. That's why Karaka's constantly covered in armor, has his beast inside of him.
Especially since 2 of them have rings.
The heart is placed elsewhere. The captain has the foresight, is constantly playing games and being everywhere. So that'll be great.
I don't know though. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's like,
but
I don't feel like anything points to it being Karaka or it being Agnon. And it's only 2 rings, right? Or am I tripping?
yeah,
For
I
now,
mean,
but
as of
there's
now,
more
we've only
so-
seen 2 rings, but I don't think Karaka is aware that the captain exists, because when Karaka sees Wangnan, why wouldn't he talk about we have different brothers or something like that, because
he didn't want to reveal.
Yeah, there's a
like,
lot of
info
different.
back.
There's a lot of reasons.
Yeah,
why
he said he didn't want to reveal
wouldn't wanna
unless he
see
it.
actually knew it was him.
No, yeah, I'm talking about later down the line when they're actually talking about
Oh, I mean-
where they're from, and you know what I'm saying, and he's
I mean-
clearly been talked about a lot with red light district stuff, and I'm not saying he's gonna spill all the beans on everything. Kraka obviously knows the most out of all of them. Maybe the captain does too, but I'm just wondering.
wait, have we seen the captain? Wait, who's the captain?
The captain is the one that talks to Dawn.
You call him Jihad.
Yeah.
He's not Jihad. That's the captain.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the captain. Jihad was a grown ass man by the time all
Yeah,
this stuff was happening.
not Jihad.
So that's why that looks like Data World Jihad, like small, has the red
No, I
cape,
get
the
that,
adventurer's
yeah.
cape,
And he has a mode too, which is the distinction between him.
yeah, the tooth and the little smirky, always smiling when there's an adventure on the line and stuff like that. So that's clearly a part of Jihad, but we don't know exactly. This is all speculation, obviously. I'm just talking out the side of my
Hold up,
neck.
so the real
SIU could
question
go
is-
crazy on some other
Which
stuff.
I find this a bit weird because it's like Jihad. I don't know. Jihad's inactiveness in the tower is a bit murky.
Yeah, but
When I was reading up on something, and pretty much it inferred that Jihad went to sleep after like the full war V was over.
mhm.
Like, and then it doesn't say that he actually there's nothing to say he's ever woken up since until now.
We have no idea that Jihad is actually active or doing anything. He has foresight, obviously, so he knows what's coming into the future. So those messages, like when he sent to Charlie and them, that could have just been something he had made long time ago, and he knew they were gonna come to that podium, and then the message is sent. You know what I mean?
I thought, as far as I remember when I was freshening up, the person who sends those messages is rank 7. What's her name? What's her
Dory.
Adori?
Dory?
Yes.
Okay, so Adori has full contact with him.
Yeah, she's like
Mhm.
I wouldn't say the second head of command, but pretty much like she's.
I mean,
giving
she is
out
the
orders
chief of
for
his
everything.
army, so yeah,
Yeah.
she
Go,
she
can.
the go.
You still have the 3 lords.
Yeah.
that
No,
rule.
But I don't think they're the ones like the three lords are like more like how would
I know
say
what you mean. Like Adori
Democratic,
would be
yeah.
more pulling out the murder orders and stuff like that.
Oh, you're
Because
talking about-
she's doing the
she's a
orders.
command. Yeah,
She's the one who
actually
gave the
look
orders.
over the entire empire.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. There's something that's a difference between, hey, we need to structure the tower like this, and this floor needs to be like this. You need to go deal with administrators
like-
on this, rather than, hey, murder these people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get the
yeah,
job
yeah.
done. Get these commanders in
she's-
line.
She's the one who gave out those orders.
Okay.
Like, but there's that like when you look it up, it says Jihad went to sleep after that war, and he's been inactive, or he was inactive at that point, and the only time it's shown him coming back inactive was after he just woke up. So he might have been inactive that entire time.
To be honest, I mean, all the stuff that I talk about regarding Jihad is just me trying to figure it out, because we will probably never know until the end of the series what's really set in stone and what's on those hidden floors, what the hell they could have seen that changed them completely, you know, stuff like that. So it's all speculation, but it's really fun to talk about.
Because
For
like
sure.
it kind of makes a bit more sense. Like this nigga Phantominium, like Inaru went on that. What's his name? Inaru went on his outrage or rampage, whatever the fuck, during the time that Jihad was also inactive, and that also means that Phantominium did whatever the fuck he did while Yuri was still alive, which means because she's the youngest princess right now, which means this was actually pretty recent when Phantominium did this. Which, yeah, because Yurik and Phantominium both come in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Turn that down.
Yurik and Phantominium both come in after Yuri is technically already a princess. So, and she's the youngest princess at the moment. So I was running and I was like, it makes sense that Phantominium didn't even fight Jihad in the first place because the nigga was just asleep. He just looked at him and walked away. That makes sense that he just looked at him and walked away. He just stood over this nigga's sleep and just like, all right, bye bye.
Yeah, the thing that I just need to know with Jihad is just like, does everyone just kind of know what he's thinking and how he would be acting? Like, if that's what you're saying, if he's inactive and he's actually asleep, and they just know what he would.
Sorry, not to cut you off. Kallavan,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Too long, like not too long ago either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Kallavan
Like,
had personally met him and said, because he's talking like, "Bam, you nothing."
yeah,
You
like
too regular. Like
that's what I'm saying. Like, is it really just like, is he inactive or?
You got to remember that Kallavan is old as shit too, because he met back when Jin Sun was active way back in the day looking for people. And that if I'm thinking this is right, Jin Sun was looking for those people back when Fug was first started.
Yeah, because he's ancient as fuck.
Yeah, Jin Sun
which would
very
make sense,
ancient. as well as the Ha family in general.
Which would make sense because Jihad didn't go inactive until after the war ended between them, and they had that wall of peace and everything and shit that happened. Like after he completely annihilated V and they defeated Fug, whatever the fuck you want to call it, he went inactive after that point.
Yeah, it's tricky and it can get convoluted as well, without actually knowing the answers. So it's
we kind of move on to like I want to talk about 62 in a second. I do want to say just like it is annoying because I hate when anything does this. I hate when a character is way stronger than everyone. So they make them constantly do things like they're dumb to just kind of delay the inevitable. Because like Kallavan should have flexed his arm, blown the niggas up, and went back to where he needed to be. But that's what it is. But I do like the kind of like them keeping the tank, like how much of a tank he is. Like he's like an impenetrable fortress, because like it's just kind of funny. Like it's kind of funny how much I feel like Karaka is a non-factor, because Karaka is wrapping his steel trees around.
You mentioned that in the
guy,
stream, yeah.
And Kallavan just like, anyways, bam.
Yeah, he's like lethal move, armor tree, and he's like
actually like watching those like looking at those panels. Because I always say the one thing that I always find SMU was good at was a destructive scale, because he'll zoom out and show you, hey, this attack is a big deal. He'll show you how much you push back. One of my favorite examples is Karaka versus Yuri after the name hunt station, I think it was. That was really good. But like all these Kallavan panels of him kind of just standing there and them just kind of not hurting him, I think is really cool. But I would be remiss. I don't care at this point because I don't fight against the inevitable. but I'll be remiss to bring this up because I would be fake if I didn't. Did the shield bother anybody here? Did anyone care?
It didn't bother me, but I don't get why you have a giant training arc and then say he got something offness, like, you know, he needed it at the moment, so he got it. Just say that he trained to have that because he saw Kallavan have explosive force at the last station, so he knew he was gonna need that in the future. So yeah, you know what I mean. So that's the only reason that bothered me.
I kind of want to cause my one of my friends just caught up, and I thought his gripe was interesting because he's kind of a new fan. He doesn't so like what he says that he hates about the power ups is that Baam is as confused as we are when he gets them. That's the part that bothers me. It's one thing if he just does it, whatever. He's like he gets the power up and he's like, huh? And he's like just as confused. He's like he feels that's insulting to him. That's his only.
I was gonna mention that, but like I think that's a play on the fact that like we're dealing with a person who has powers outside of everyone else.
Literally a sponge.
Yeah, and we're not talking about the same as like he's not on the same talented level as like Yurik and everything else. Where the moment they entered, they were just
done in a month. They were at the top in a month.
It's like this man 50 years.
They were just that strong. They had their abilities. It didn't really matter for him. It's like he needs to learn abilities.
My viewpoint's a little different, but sorry. I'll finish your thought and then I'll
needs to somewhat learn abilities and grow, unlike the other irregulars. But at the same time that he's doing it, he's like realizing things. How would you put it? He's trying to understand things from an irregular standpoint, going up the tower with a bunch of regulars. So it's like, why the fuck is this happening to me? Because there's no one to explain to him what the fuck it is, because he doesn't know what it is. Nobody else knows what it is. So it's like,
the thing is, I want to see if those other irregulars were just able to freely blitz the tower without being held back as much as Baam and getting caught up in wars and needing those, like those power-ups and stuff. Once again, I'm the blue shield. The other stuff I could kind of get over. The blue shield one, I just don't understand why come off a training arc and then give him and you could have easily just said he developed that, just like with Luffy and before the time skip, how in the jungle he needed those different things, so he developed them for that. That's a cool thing to me. That's a really cool thing.
And he defend.
You mean like Gear 4?
He needs the Van Kill flashbacks anytime he's in trouble. When Luffy's in trouble, gonna Rayleigh flashback and he's hockey.
What's funny is his Van Kill flashbacks don't even be a Van Kill. It'd be fucking Yusong.
Yeah,
or he's in the battlefield with some Ha family ranker who doesn't want to be a ranker. Like, what did the Van Kill actually teach?
Or that martial artist guy that he fought with.
Hey, look, I promise you, the funny part is, she taught this nigga that big ass orb, and they ain't even show us that in the flashback.
Ivanko gave him that Garp training. He was like, "Here, do this, this, and that. You be straight."
But one thing that was nice to understand that, like, which I didn't really get at first, was like the loop. Like the loop for the longest time, I was trying to understand it, and it didn't really make sense until after he used it, and Kallavan was talking about it.
Which is another thing that I appreciated, because it's like he's not just an ape. He's like, like it's not even like the power and whatnot. It's like his house. It's like his unlimited. Just, that's cute. Like,
it gathers and stores.
Like
I have to say this. I don't know. Like, if I'm tripping, I'm pretty sure he changed the effect of the essence of bravery, and it looks like that has like this blue look.
It definitely.
I think it's more. I think it's the rage in him, bro.
How it looks.
But he's calm. He's not raised at all. Like,
I think he's calm because of the people he's fighting right now. If he actually were to have like a challenge, I think he has some rage built up in him. Personally, I think he's gonna go crazy
because he kind of has the essence of bravery always activated. You remember before he did it. He actually pulled it out against Jinsung, and then I guess he did. I guess he never took it off or whatever. I don't even know if it was a problem, but I assume it does. But
I love the new like techniques he's using with it, rather than them just being explosions. Like the arm stuff is really cool.
I just like how it looks. Like
the hockey arm.
Like when Baam used
it's coming off.
When Baam used his transcendent skill, and he was like, "Wow, I felt that in my whole body." And like he looks at his hand, and it's like steaming, and then he just triggers his essence of bravery. Like that shit looks beautiful to me.
Now, to me, the best part of this chapter is Kallavan's interaction with his company commander. When he's like,
Oh,
basically,
yeah.
this is a war of attrition.
Love
He's like,
that.
yo, I'm gonna send this stealthy ass, I'm gonna send the ship in stealth mode to the cage and blow it up. And Kallavan's, alright. But if this shit don't go well, you take responsibility. Like, yo, you could come take my life yourself. I'm like, bro, what kind of interaction is this? What's going on?
No. I knew.
Why is he
knew
so
it.
confident it will
loved
work?
Like,
I
I was
loved
like, what the hell?
it was amazing, and the best part about it is when you see the flashback with the Alpathion, right? And you kind of
Yeah.
see
Rip.
Alpathion die, what it is. What
That nigga's still floating.
What that what that moment actually did was give Kallavan his own resolve in the battle now, right?
Yeah.
Because now he knows that some of his soldiers are gonna kind of needlessly die, and he knows that what happened to Alpathion, and after basically gave him a reason to kind of break a pact that he had with the King of the Tower and stuff, to take his other hand out, listen to his company commander, and do what he gotta do. Where I'm like, now I'm starting to feel like everyone has a real reason to be here, and I like that. So that was to me the best part of the chapter, and I didn't see anyone talking about that. I'm like, bro,
He's
you guys-
been.
What's-
You know
what's
they don't
crazy
talk
is
about
that-
any actual interesting aspects.
you're right.
Just rawness and swag. That's it.
Oh my God, Shinsu! You know, joking like.
Don't get me
but
wrong. I'm a sucker for that too. But yeah, you're not getting any actual conversations about that.
the way I saw that, the way I read that is because like, I don't know, I didn't read it more as confidence. I like the moment he was saying you gonna have to take responsibility. I just felt like I knew what he was talking about. Like
It's
the
not-
man's
I
been
didn't say it
saying
was
you
confidence or
gonna.
something. I just thought it was an interesting interaction to have. Like, bro, like, hey, yo, I need you to do this. All right, but if all right, coach, if it don't work though, I want your job. Like, what?
Yeah,
what like,
because that was the first
I was
time.
like, bro, that's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
That was the first time that he wasn't like he kind of
I'm
went
just a
back to what
soldier.
we were
Yeah.
to what exactly went back to what we're used to him seeing, the commander, the guy that's like takes charge of the people that he cares about, that he put together this whole like fourth army corps, so yeah, I do appreciate seeing that for sure, instead of hand tied behind his back.
You know what? You know what? He
That nigga
definitely
into some
can
kinky
turn it
shit
on and
for
off,
real.
because back here he has the diamond in his head, and when he pulls up against Jinsung, so he can remove it when he needs to.
Because you can see the skin kind of peel over and peel back at times as well. If you really look at his hand in certain panels, looks freaky.
But yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, when White came through, how do you like his design right now? By the way, how does it look?
Clean.
It's nice.
Favorite.
It's,
It's
it's
just-
funny because like
That's look.
Amazing.
Yeah, like it's funny
Yeah.
because it's been leading up to this design. Like every time you see White, you start to see
Literally
White
what I was
bigger,
about to
like,
say.
a little bit cooler each time.
Literally, you
like an
see
evolution.
each,
You just-
you see each different part in each different evolution, and then you see them all together in the final form.
Now the
Yeah,
crown's
'cause,
like
like-
really floating. off the
Yes,
Yeah, like,
sir.
it's crazy because like I had first noticed it when he was back at the cage and like he went in there to kill some folks, and I was just like, this nigga White looks different. And I go back and look and I'm like, yeah, he looks different. It's not just drawing.
The
and
red
like-
streaks are just such a great accent. Like,
Yeah, you just keep going through.
I mean, and he spoke about what the actual meaning of that thing on his eye, the other guy's eyes was. That was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah, how they worshipped him in the past, and then
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
he was like, "You don't know what you're talking about." That was pretty cool.
I like
Nah,
I don't know how I feel about like the sword that he activated. I don't know. I thought like he was like, "This is my strongest cold." That's what it's. I forget the name, but he's like, "This is my strongest attack."
Conengus?
Like I don't know. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just kind of felt like his other previous. I just like seeing him with a physical, like, I don't know, weapon. I guess. Even when he fought Kallavan, like
I thought-
first time when they went to wake up, when Kane fell asleep and they woke up Darwin, like that sword he was using was pretty clean too. But
That's
this was
the
like,
same thing I was thinking. I was hoping that we was gonna see like a better version of that, but
yeah.
I was just gonna say, aside from the way he looks,
What?
which he looks raw, but
what happened?
Pat
your mic, bro.
What happened? No. What happened to your audio?
this man
Yeah, what-
under a radiation
Where
machine.
did you go?
Who is that?
hold up.
Where did you
That's
go?
Pat.
They done stuck this
Alright,
nigga
I'm
Pat
good
in the
now.
microwave.
yeah, sounds better.
Yeah.
All right, I was just gonna say, aside from the way he looks, because he looks raw as hell, but I just like the way SIU presented him to us, because it was like literally the second coming of Christ, where you see him coming out of the top with a blinding light, and he's
Yes,
looking down at
sir.
everybody like he's a holy entity. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit!
The like head nodded to the side, like the
Yup.
smugness, and
Confidence is
then
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
the confidence is back. Yes, sir. Also, before we move on, how did you guys feel about Calavan's servant just like kind of swooping out of nowhere?
No, it was whatever.
Whatever,
He got what he got. What he got.
Yeah.
It's kind of consistent with what happened later on because he's just earned the respect of everybody who works under him, right? So
Mm.
I can get promoted, but like I fuck with this guy, so I'm gonna be here.
No, why I'm asking that is because that look that Cha has when he looks back and he feels his presence. Like I'm a big fan of Cha so far, and I think he has potential like coming
What do
out
they call him
of
again? The descendant of the first human,
of the first man. That is so interesting. He literally has people had those guys worshiping him, and that ex ranker risked his entire life to break him out of the wall.
I remember
Like,
a comment yelling at me or us about liking old characters when characters like I don't remember who this was. I wish I cared enough to look it up, but whatever. And I remember laughing because he's like, Cha is already immediately more interested than anybody we've ever seen because he's whatever the first man. Like, what if this turns out to be absolutely nothing important? Like,
yeah, he could be absolutely nothing important at all. Why I don't think so is because of the stuff with Secret
There's gonna be
Grove.
80 other niggas descendants of the first man.
Exactly.
Isn't important. He's not inherently way more interesting than a character I'm more invested in just because of that one thing.
I mean that
doesn't inherently make him more interesting. I'm not saying he doesn't end up being him.
I'm not saying that. I know, I get what you're saying. I'm saying, but there are certain characters where I've learned about a lot about them, and I feel like they might have already hit their ceiling, Rand.
Like I'm not gonna lie, they could definitely pull some bullshit and just be like, oh, descendant of the first man, but like it ain't nothing better than being a descendant of Coon. Like it's just trash. Like come on,
right?
I mean, he's still connected to the Hidden Grove, and there's like there's still stuff like little plot threads like that. But like
so far, except the rock looking guy. But everyone else does. This could guy's whatever. I don't have an opinion on him yet. I don't like Doan. I like
Snakes. Doan alone.
He's a walking
First thing
contradiction.
he did was come and be like, "Hey yo, I'm a bow to this guy." I'm like, for what reason are you bowing to this man?
I like Snakes. Dawn just don't like her whatsoever. I don't even know if they could redeem her whatsoever. Yeah, exactly. That's and her being one of the strongest like war, heroes and stuff, and them hyping her up, I think added to her downfall because when she came out beautiful, he drew the flower attacks and everything so amazing. Yeah. And like we were talking about earlier in this segment, she had so much potential and it just went down the shitter real fast.
Right.
I think Cha can be a cooler hitman for like Baam in the future, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
pretty much.
He
came in swinging, like
bro. When he was charging up that beam, he was looking nasty.
That too, but when he came in and like he threw that fucking attack at Yasuracha, he was like, "Hold up, like this is not good."
He was like, "Whoa!" Yasuracha backed up, was like, "Hey guys, I might need y'all real quick." Like everybody needs to
both Yama and Ivanka in front of him, and then
he
was like, "All right."
He's like, "Hold on, he might actually have something."
Yo, I've been finding good.
Are you guys still interested in Yasuracha? I feel like I've kind of lost.
Yes. Absolutely.
Lost interest in him as this war goes on.
I feel like you're only. I feel like you're only saying that because you haven't seen it.
It's no one's fault or anything. It's just like, I just like when I'm reading. I'm like, I don't know. I like Kallavan more, and I'm interested in this Kun Lobo B or whatever guy hybrid he is. So I'm just like Yasuracha just and I don't know. I didn't really like him that much from the get go though. So
really,
I love his character.
I didn't have any strong opinions on him. It's like this guy is. I get it. Cat and dog. He's cool. Got a little animal,
that's not even the most interesting part to me personally. I love the part that he's Lopobia, and from what we've gotten hints of, like so are the Houndborn, and they're kind of like a mutation of the cat version. You know what I mean? And that's where they're kind of back and forth. Yeah, it's cool that it's cat versus dog, but I feel like that's more of an analogy for similar to like Hutu versus the Tuti. Like you're the same people, but you're beefing over some stupid shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, it also alludes to the fact that he has transformation too, but
Yeah.
stuff. But
if we see that
Yeah, if he has a
oh my
transformation, I'm gonna
god, him versus Yama's gonna have me
That's what I'm
twerking.
saying.
Sorry,
I feel
what?
like I'm gonna kind of be upset if he has a transformation because it's like it's not
What?
gonna make sense
What?
for them to even match him. Like
Huh?
what do you mean?
like when you think about it, like Yama was fighting him with his almost full transformation, pretty
Right.
much, and this man like didn't transform anything. So it's like unless they
Go.
only got like a
I mean,
partial
but
version.
you do know he was getting
That's what I thought
he was getting
also.
assistance
That's
from his familiar, which can be
Yeah,
something that Yama can get out the way, and that can change an entire.
It just
I
means
get
that he has
that.
to go that much.
Yeah.
I get
it's
that,
a
but the
challenge.
point is like if this nigga also has a full transformation with the familiar and plus, it's like it doesn't seem
But
like
what we're
he's
saying is
matching
we're
that.
not just gonna get a 1v1 where Yasuracha gets to use all his tools versus Yama, you know what I mean? Like he's gonna get his stuff picked off to the point where he's going to need to use that transformation. And we don't even know if that's real or not.
Right?
Yeah,
And it would also make sense if they're a subsection of those low Pobia members, why can't they do the same thing that the mutated versions of them can do? But continue.
And there's a lot of hype
well, I
built
mean, a
around it too.
mutate
with
can
Doom
technically
and-
be better.
Yeah, the Doom stuff too. But yeah,
like Doom's
continue.
like there. You see this man like he run away like that's like one dude
literally.
you can't like he's famous like even as famous as Kallavan to be honest. So like yeah, kind of makes sense that he's gonna be that terrifying. I don't know.
Mhm. I could see it. I could definitely see it.
I mean, the only thing I also didn't like, I wish it could have been a subsect, but what, like, I don't know. Something don't sit right with me when a dog is a subsect of a cat.
Why? Cats are seen as gods and light in our society.
It don't
So
sit right with my
and
spirit.
We don't have
dogs
the
are
full
mutts.
truth. We just have like little.
Yeah, we also don't have the full truth. It could have been the other way around, and then they flipped it to make the dogs believe that they were always in the bottom, totem pole, but it wasn't always like that.
Yeah,
that happens a lot.
Because what I was gonna say is we know there's feline people, canine people, and I guess goat people because Tura was one of those people under. He's gonna kill Yasuracha, remember? You heard
Them goat niggas.
I still all think this stuff is connected to ancient powers. That's why a knock is like that as well. And whenever you see a knock fight, you don't see any actual abilities. You just see her throwing hands. But that's a whole nother conversation we can have.
Yeah, she's also a demi princess though. But shit, I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember though.
We have gone on so many tangents.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. Yasuracha got them claws on him, boy.
The reason why I don't think it's unreasonable to think that he has some type of transformation is because we know that the way that he was using what was it called, days, is supposed to be similar to what Doom could do with the Fang, with the canine people, because he kind of has control over this. So you never know if those overlaps in more ways than one. I don't need Yasuracha to have a transformation, but if he does, I wouldn't be that shocked because I know him and Doom are similar in a way. It's like maybe they're both the leaders of the feline and canine people in a sense.
Yo, you know it's gonna be crazy.
Yama's the strongest. That's different than necessarily kind of being like, cause he can't use the Fang. Only Doom can. But Yama's the leader, but because he's the strongest. Go ahead.
Nah, you know it's crazy though. This man Doom die, and they bring back Ding Ding, and just give him all of Doom's power, and then he go
kill you.
power.
Ding ding. What? Fuck that.
He said ding ding.
Yo, get
This man said ding ding.
bro.
Kind of back to the original point. Yoker was here so White could flex his slash attack. And,
That's crazy. Y'all gonna treat me like this?
That's why.
This man said ding ding, bro.
Look, fact. Look. This is how y'all treated me when I was talking about orbs. Look what happened, nigga.
This man said ding ding. What were you saying, him?
But yeah. So White pulls up, and I thought he put on a good show. Like
Don't sleep on Ding Ding.
I didn't know what he was gonna. Y'all fucking up my train of thought. All day.
White pulled up and
take
he's
over.
giving a
Someone
show.
just take over. Someone take over.
Okay. So let's talk about the pretty much main event that's going on right now, which is Kallavan v White, and then we can kind of take it to what we were talking about earlier on. Is he really putting in that work, or and if on a 1v1, like a real 1v1, would it be a whole disaster? Because I do think White is still, I wouldn't say holding back, but he's got something that he's not showing us. Because we constantly are seeing transcendent skills from higher ups within the tower, and Bam it has had at least. The crazy thing is, transcendent skills are supposed to be something very, very rare, and I know Bam is crackhead,
That
so he
nigga
can kind of
created
do
3 off the
something
top of his
different.
head.
Exactly. So that's why my issue is, yes, I know they are very high level power moves, but show them off on other people as well. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I'm trying to see something.
The real question is, what classifies something as a transcendent skill?
Some when
Something that broke.
FIU calls it a transcendent skill, and you can see. I personally think you can see the clear, like, this is a different kind of move, like butterfly wings or Jinsung's tiger dragon gate, and it's connected to his Ha culture and stuff like that. That makes it a transcendent skill, not just something that is like beam or this or
Blue beam.
yeah, blue beam, bigger blue beam, water blue beam. It has to have an actual specific thing that it's doing. Like it could be I don't know, something that Jinsung taught him, and then he puts his own Bam style spin on it.
Nah, that's actually a good point. Where like, if they're gonna be doing transcendent skills, like, I feel like it needs to be showcased a little better. Like when Kallavan does his essence of bravery, like, we always get a close up on his face where he's like, he looks like he's a demon or something, like he's charging up as something powerful.
He's used
Don't just
one.
do the move.
Yeah, I think he's used one, and that was his atomic explosion on Jinsung. I understand he would probably kill half of the people on this side of the wall with it. I get it. You can't, for his story purposes, go that far, but that's why. And I've had these sentiments since the beginning. Hemmings can tell you, I didn't want them to meet this early because I still think Kallavan should be killing everybody in this area. Once the trick of wrapping his arm for the pride and being a broken man and the failure, and I get that worked for a little bit, but as soon as you broke that off, it should be curtains. It should be absolute curtains. If this man can do transcendent skills like that, and he can take transcendent skills from Jinsung that puts holes in his stomach, you know what I mean? It should really be curtains, or you should be showing White throwing some transcendence towards him to really put some pressure. But I think we will see some soon.
Plus, like, the whole stamina thing too.
Yeah, that as well. Because Bam did look absolutely gassed after using his.
And if White uses it here, think about all the people they have. Like, Macheni's still waiting. Fourth minute still waiting. So
yeah, I do understand that, but the thing is, regardless, this isn't a fight where they can really like say they're gonna get a break at any time, or they're gonna have to conserve stamina, because they should have just brought some healer types or something, because Bam looks Bam looks gassed. Like, he looks gassed.
Yeah, but he's got one.
All these classes and they ain't got no.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Like, they don't really expect him to be. Like,
yeah, he looks gassed, but I really love I just really love the move types that they have been showing in these fights, and like Hemming said, SIU just has a great way of showing how big these attacks really are. Like, for example, when that Elder was shooting his bows towards the cage, my god, yeah, not the newest Elder that we have no idea what she's up to, the Kallavan. But yeah, I mean, how you guys been feeling about this Kallavan v White fight so far, and how it's showcasing other Slayers not named Karaka, because Karaka cannot. I don't think Karaka he's just outclassed in this area right now.
I think it's done a good job of showing us what kind of person White was in his prime.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking forward to that for a very long time. So the fact that he got Kallavan on the ropes, I think that's pretty good. I don't think he's stronger than him though, but I think it's good enough.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's on the ropes, but he is definitely. I think he's surprising Kallavan a lot.
This man got to slip in the gas of Kallavan real quick. Right?
I don't know if he got all on the ropes.
Let me tell you how it's about to go. Right, this nigga White over here just burning souls. Kallavan gonna take a second and look away, and then he gonna body that nigga who we cut off the fingers and get stronger.
That's what's gonna happen. Absolutely.
Yo.
My Super Nazi ain't losing.
With the Kallavan v White, I've always been a Kallavan fan, so I'm like really happy that he's getting the kind of attention that he's getting right now. Because I found it kind of odd that like when he was like with his one arm, there was a lot of people still mistakenly calling him Squadron Commander. So I'm just like, okay, this implying that his charisma is kind of like insane, but we weren't too sure if like that's the case because I know a lot of people had like mixed opinions on him and how he was like portrayed. So like seeing him like Apatheon, you know, like his little speech with him, his talk, and then how much he actually, because usually Kallavan is more of a calculated, like he doesn't really show his emotions too much when it comes to following orders and stuff. So like for him to kind of have that shocked face when they said like his squad is probably dying, like with the explosion, and then his reaction saying, "Okay, I'm gonna still follow your orders," you know, being consistent with his character, but you're still gonna catch your, I'm gonna still catch your body if like you mess up. So I kind of want to see how that goes because we can kind of assume Yama wouldn't have his cage blow up. So like that kind of also begs the question if like I've always wondered how y'all feel how the jihad forces are being portrayed right now because like I think it's okay since like there's more of them than like Fug, but like a lot of people are saying Fug's winning too easy, yada yada yada, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, they still got a few, they still have a few obstacles that they have to, like, you know, face. There's more people. There's another squadron.
The only major player they have on the field really is Kallavan.
Yeah, I was about to say that there are monsters in the nest.
By himself, he's doing a lot.
He's soloing. He's soloing
around the discussion table where you make the plans, bro. Like,
literally. I forgot who said it.
Go back to what Kun said earlier about what would make the tower, because basically we know that the Jihad army is bigger than any organization. One of the reasons why they don't fear Fug and they don't fear the Wall Cyclone is because they know they're way outnumbered. It doesn't matter how many people they have. But like, when I remember Kun was like, this is a numbers battle. The more people that die in the battle, the better we'll look, even if we're not taking out people who are crazy strong earlier on in the battle when he was getting the souls for white. So I think that's really what it is. Like, it's just one of those things, like we're getting rid of a lot of people. All people don't matter, but all of the big name players have not really made a move yet. So,
they're
anyone's winning yet. Nothing has happened.
They're making plays, and that's kind of like that's what Fug does. Like, they get this win here, they get that win there, and as long as like they move forward enough, like, you know.
I forgot who on Jihad's army said it, but they were like, when Kallavan was obviously still foot soldier, he's like, you know, that foot soldier is still as strong as 3 of our armies alone. They understand that they have a lot of fodder, but they, like you guys said, it's a numbers game for them. You know,
even look at how the thing. What is his name again?
Who?
The one who,
the commander that said you can kill me after this.
Yeah, the one who replaced Kallavan. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Like, he's like, bro, we have.
You can kill me after this.
We have stronger members on the other side. Just blow these niggas up.
I love that he acknowledges he's not a commander. He's not a commander right now because it's like a strength thing. You know, he could go out there and kill Kallavan one-on-one or something. It's more of he's a snake and he has insider info on what's happening in that specific war right now. And I feel like Jihad also demoted or Adori gave the orders to demote Kallavan because they knew it would give him some incentive to be more, you know, focused on getting this job done, unlike letting Baam get away.
They have a personal relationship, so that does make sense that she kind of looks out for him. But yeah,
I found the line interesting where White's like how he definitely got his old power back, but it doesn't feel like it's enough. How did you guys take that? Because I actually thought it was
he needs to slurp Baam.
Literally,
it was my intent. It was my belief that with Kun kind of hosting the souls in his fire, I thought he was gonna get a boost from Kun.
Yeah.
And I guess
it's not enough, bro.
Yeah, I don't think it's happened yet, and
Baam
I think
ain't right yet.
I think it's a stamina
unless
thing.
it already happened, and that's why he feels like it's weird.
I don't think it's happening yet.
I don't think it's happened yet because I think we see the clear thing, just like
always have the little fire kind of
exactly, and how like Ivankel had her compression thing. You can clearly see there's been a buff to her, not even just the muscles. There's like an aura around her of like certain power that can't be contained inside them because it's not normal. It's not just what they use in every day.
So he's white. Facts. That's just.
But I will say with chapter 62. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I feel like with White, like, you know how you said that
you find it interesting that he got his full power back and he said it wasn't enough. For me, like, since he was on top, and then we saw him go all the way back to zero, and he's like constantly growing to get back to where he once was. And like, I feel like when you hit a stage where you're trying to reclaim your former glory, and you're constantly going up and up and up and up, and then when you get to that spot, you realize you still have room to get stronger. So it's just feeling like, I'm back to where I was, but this isn't the end. Like, you can still keep going and be even stronger than that. Because he's always been presented to us like a ravenous beast that keeps eating souls nonstop.
Can we bring up Bam? What's up?
Oh,
Go ahead. No. Go ahead.
The soul thing could be probably like I kind of see it as an MP thing. Maybe he has to constantly burn souls to constantly output the amount of power that he's doing. So that's what the constant replenishing of souls does.
I think you're completely right with that one, because that's why he's so desperate to eat Kallavan. You know what I mean? That's like that would last him over to the end of the war.
It's like Galactus.
He could continuously fight to the end of the war, and he'll be expending that energy during that war, but he'll also be devouring other people along the way. So it's like a yin and a yang thing. Like it works out in a perfect circle.
And the most interesting thing to me about the souls thing with like Bam is like I'm just wondering how he would replenish the souls now. Like, if Bam starts like loving like the power and stuff like that, like how would he go about like getting more?
Exactly.
He has enough now. Like he doesn't.
He does. But
like, if you think about it, him and he was matched. He's pretty much was matched with White, right? And he got the souls. So it's like, shouldn't he damn near be able to boost himself to the same level, even if temporarily?
I don't think he knows how to use. I don't think he knows how to use his souls in the way that. I think White's entire essence runs off of that power. Bam's entire power doesn't come from that one singular source, so he hasn't perfected that. I do think that SIU will use that later down the line, just like when he formed his sword and stuff like that. And maybe he'll use those powers, because we do see those in a lot of those webtoon games where like the older version of Bam will have his soul sword and like the two thorns and stuff like that. So that might be something that SIU wants to do later down the road. But you never know. Maybe fucking White kidnaps him, roofies him, and steals his souls or some shit. Like, you never know. Like,
hey, that sounds kind of freaky deaky right there. What you thinking?
I don't know, man. But could we talk about how SIU's art direction in this fight versus Kallavan has been absolutely amazing?
That's what I want to speak about next, because I would say this with this current fight.
Most fluid fight for me.
See, I don't agree with that.
Wait, which fight?
I don't think the flow of action, this current one, is as clean as it has been, but each panel itself is
fire.
Yeah. So the way that I go ahead.
And when and anytime White is slashing through the essence of bravery, energy, or Shinsu, I love it, because there's one part one panel where like you just see White kind of like cut through it, like this is an explosion, like that like it doesn't make sense. Like the REA soul is different. I love it. Like it can cut anything.
REA.
It's displaying a lot without him having to say anything, and I always appreciate that.
I feel like a lot of people that read Tower of God read it on their phone, and that really fucks up the flow of. I think that fucks up the flow of. I'm not saying you. I'm saying because I have like group chats of people who read like this. When I read it, one, I read it on my iPad, and two, I have it so they mesh together, and I can see how the art is supposed to look in one piece. That broken up panels with the sword slashing and stuff, it is confusing if you're looking at them one by one. And look, I do agree at that. But with the way that because my issue with a lot of manga and manhwa and stuff is beam attacks and like slashing attacks that change direction in midair, which is what he's doing a lot, lose their sense of like what does that do? Like in Tokyo Ghoul, I could barely my eyes could barely see where a lot of like the I forgot what they're called, Kinkyus and stuff, like where those tentacles were like shooting and stuff everywhere, like you lose that direction. But the misdirection that White is using in it, I think it's fluid. But that's just me personally.
I think in 63 it looks a lot better when he's using the two hands and they're fighting. That I thought.
Oh, I'm not sure what you're talking. Yeah, I'm talking about that right now.
Specifically 62 is what I was talking about. I thought like First of all, like
I'm talking when he cuts his servant's fingers off.
Everyone keeps interjections, so like the battle's a little bit broken up. But I'm just saying, like, I remember with some other fights where I felt like the flow of action was super continuous. The way my eyes followed everything, it was like it was seamless. I just didn't think it was seamless. I thought all the panels were great, but I just thought it looks to me a lot better in 63. Then I was like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree on that for sure.
The fucking the little scale thing holding his arm back, and now both his arms started glowing, and he has the fucking dying will flame in his forehead. Like, he looks crazy.
Like, I love the multiple slashes and like him jumping above the beams and like the multiple explosions. The explosions going behind him and his long hair blowing in the wind and stuff like that. Shit was crazy for me right now.
63, I was losing my mind.
When he just blocks it with the two hands and then does the reverse swing and like breaks up the entire cloud of explosions and then slashes down, like, yeah, White is on one. He is on one.
Yeah, it's been
off a perfect you heard.
He absolutely is. Like, seeing Bam clench his fist as White looks back at him, like, yeah, you saw that? Yeah, you saw it? Yeah. That shit is so
anyone
satisfying.
else, like, when I first seen him wait. Never mind.
You was about to spoil like hell. You was about to spoil like hell. Yes,
but
sir.
that White style fatal sword shit I'm looking at now is pretty cool. Like,
my God, that shit is beautiful. Like, I love when White is using like two hands on the sword and doing like reversals and stuff to misdirection his explosions and you know, push his fists away so he doesn't take any attacks straight on. And whenever like Kallavan tries to get close, he'll slash down and do a little cut or something. It won't do any major damage, but I feel like White as a swordsman actually is better from afar, which is weird.
You think his range attacks?
Yeah, his range attacks are more unpredictable, and they still do as much damage as if you're being cut, as if he's super close to you. So he'll scare you when you get really close to him. Then he'll back up. And he'll throw a Grim Reaper.
Didn't he say something about when he was fighting Kallavan the first time? He was like, "You're getting close to a swordsman." Like, he was like, "Are you nuts?" Like, so he said some shit like that. I gotta look at it again, but like,
I would have to look back at it. But I feel like that's definitely something his ass would say too.
Yeah,
so.
I feel like he has like some other shit too, like close range too, that we haven't.
Absolutely,
really
it looks like he has two swords.
I almost don't.
He does look like he has two swords.
White's comment about like whatever it was makes me feel like he still isn't all the way there for some reason.
he isn't.
Honestly, I was wanting to say it before, but y'all when I was talking, I know he said it, but I never really got the vibe that he was back to his prime. Honestly, I think he's like 70% of the 80% of the way there, and honestly, I think he even made a comment like. But I didn't get that vibe from him, honestly. Like, I was still like, yo, go raw, he bad.
We can't.
I think.
I mean, what's her? What was it? Macheni that spoke on it when she was like, talking to Laboric, whatever. She was like, he's back to like his original power. Like, what are you gonna do about it? So I feel like if someone's do you think Macheni was? Yeah, she probably witnessed.
I think she would because she's a snake that would know everything about FUG.
Yeah, she loves reading
and
those
the
books,
Slayers.
too.
Yeah,
like she doesn't win, lose or draw. I don't think she cares about the result. She's just here to fight.
Yeah.
Right. Oh,
I don't even think she cares like that.
No, I don't either.
She wants those goodies in the nest, bro. she wants Bam to open it, so
low key, she want to snag one of them pieces.
I'm definitely gonna say for White, I think it's more like because he wasn't his full form, like his body wasn't even like itself. So I think it's more of he's back, like he wasn't his full form, like his body itself wasn't his full form.
Right now,
I'm saying before. So my point is that I feel like his body is technically at its full self when it was like fused and all that, like fully completely fused, all that.
I get what you mean. He's not used to having his full power back. Yeah.
So I think he's 90-95% there. Like, I can't say that it's lower than that because I have too many.
I just don't think we've seen everything that he has to offer. Right, I think 100%. That's why we feel like it's underwhelming. But we've literally seen him for, I guess, for White to be hyped up for this long. we would expect something even crazier off of like 2 moves or something. But I feel like since it's Kallavan, we're not gonna see that like overwhelming presence like we would with someone else. And another like if he did this in season 2, he's the strongest person that we've seen so far. You know what I mean? Aside
I
from
ain't
like
gonna
Yurik and Irregulars and Yuri and stuff, like we see a monster.
I'm not gonna cap that looks like a red sword on his hip.
I'm saying it could
I thought
be
that was
an
the scabbard,
right?
but
yeah,
It
it
looks
looks like a sheath, like he's
Or
saying. It
sheath,
looks like
yeah.
it's yeah, but at
okay.
the because his sword also looks like raw energy. It doesn't
That's
Yeah,
what
look
I
it just looks
mean.
like
That's what I
yeah,
was talking about
raw
earlier.
energy.
I wish I saw like it was more like a
But
physical.
yeah. It
I
looks
was
like raw
wondering, and the reason
energy.
why I was wondering is because remember when we saw the other Ari dude, and he actually got a weapon that was outside of like the sword he could just craft. Like he got a
Yeah,
negation weapon, and
you
Vignetta?
talking about
Oh,
yeah,
Indiana?
he
yeah.
went
Yeah, yeah.
completely berserk. Like
With
But
that sword design was
he got an ignition weapon though.
yeah, exactly. That
no,
sword
no, but that's
design
my
wasn't
point.
an
What if
Ari sword
like
though.
what if even if it's not an ignition weapon, because like we know he can like craft one out of his sword, out of his souls. Like that red one seems like it was more solid than just
Yeah,
energy.
my issue with that would be it would have to be something a form of his soul because I'm pretty sure all Ari specific swords have to be white. So
I thought he made it. What he was saying was at the time was I don't know why sometimes it looks more spirit and it looks more solid. I can't explain that to you. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I think that could just be him trying to display the unpredictability of the Arya's family swordsmanship. But I think the reason why he made the sword, he literally said this is the best I can do right now. That's all I can do. So I think this is supposed to be one of, if not.
I don't know, but he kind of made it like blood
Yeah,
soul. Like it felt different
But
compared
maybe
to
he burned
even
the
what he's
soul
throwing
in
out
a different
now.
way. Maybe there's different ways to burn it.
yeah, I think that he can just change the form of that of his sword, and this sword that he's choosing right now is one of those unpredictable things where he can throw those attacks where it'll like wrap around Caliban and
Actually,
trick him with misdirection.
I just thought about it. He said he was purposely trying to show him how to burn souls. So like, what if even if what I'm not saying that like, what if he's teaching him how to burn souls while showing him his strongest technique?
It's not even like his regular sword. It's
Yeah,
just a soul like power that he's
yeah,
using.
like he's showing him how to burn the souls right now.
Yeah,
But
that would
when he
make sense
gets really
because
serious, he's gonna switch back to like that crazy.
that
red
would make sense because that means that he has an actual physical Ari sword that he used, and then he can use his soul powers like Bam can make a soul sword. That would make a lot of sense. I actually like that.
And you know, and did say I remember correctly. I think it was Ed that said that he thought the white was going to be the X factor. He might be right.
No, yeah, I
The fact
definitely saw that.
Even with just this, the fact that Bam learned how to burn souls by watching this is a big deal in itself.
Yeah.
Because he's about to do it right now. You can see him in the midst of doing it, and then you see like the butterfly wings.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say something
powering
about
up
that.
and everything.
I had thought about it before, but like I was gonna make an inference, which we can still make because we seen the form he takes at like the end of the chapter, and we know he's about to go attack the ship. Naturally, I was just thinking, what if he does something like a black hole to just suck up the entire ship explosion?
Bam?
What?
Yeah.
If Bam uses
I don't
black hole
follow.
Shinsu to
Like
suck
if
up
he
the
use
is that what you're talking about?
because remember that ship is probably going to explode. So it's like,
Yeah.
what if he uses the
Problem
black
is,
hole?
I already know what's gonna happen with it, so like it's hard
Same.
for me to really like. I don't want to dance around it. I just want to say like I already know what's gonna happen.
How do you guys feel about
God.
those like little floating scales and stuff and like Bam's wings? Are those just a part of their soul power-ups and the way that they develop their Shinsu, or are those like
Man, I don't know what the fuck that shit is anymore.
that's what I'm saying, because they constantly are like connected to the stuff with their souls. I feel like you
I'm
rarely
starting
see
to
anyone
think,
else
like,
have wings and like
honestly, at this point, I'm pretty sure his powers, like anytime he gets a power up or like something new, they
I'm not specifically just talking about Bam though, because if you
Okay.
see in the chapter at the end, white is forming on both of his hands, those white swords, and those weird scales that are popping out as well.
Let me see.
Oh, yeah, that
Like,
might
you know,
actually
and then
be
like
so
White
weird.
also has at the bottom of his hips, he has those two like white floating like scythes. I don't even know what they look like, but it always looks like it's holding them up in suspension in air or something. You guys know what I mean?
I see
Let
what you're
me
talking
see.
about. It looks like some weird swords of reveal.
Yeah,
Shit
exactly.
that, you know, like
Yeah.
I got you. I got you.
You know, like
you know what they look like? They remind me of the kind of like the crystals in the Fortress of Solomon.
yeah, and it's very aesthetically pleasing. But I always wonder why those are always in the background. Do they need those little nodes to like power up their soul powers? Like, I don't know. I'm just wondering, posing some random questions.
It was, but I do think that he's actually like Kallavan's. I don't think
Oh, I
Kallavan's
see
trying
now.
his hardest, but he's trying.
Mhm.
I saw the veins in his eyes.
When
I saw that shit, bro.
when
He tried.
yeah, when he reversed his attack and he cut him, and then he had the flashback to Alpathion, and then whenever he burns the essence of bravery on his forehead, I know he's not trying. You can't tell me you're not trying now. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say like, you know, this man's not a worthy opponent.
So
Now,
that's
is he
what I'm
Just
washing?
be looking away,
Now,
bro.
Is
he
he
blew his-
washing Kallavan? No.
He blew his hand
Nah.
off, and then just pulled that shit back
Yeah.
the fuck out. Like,
Bro, are
ready
you
to keep
ready?
going?
Yeah, like, nah. I don't want smoke with somebody like that.
He's like,
I
no
know.
problem. Ready to keep going?
Yeah, that I
He's
absolutely
kind of a
love Kallavan.
fucking like he's a battle nut, bro. Like
He is. He's a
fucking
meathead. He's a meathead.
I have
I mean, he used
never
to do this
seen
back when he
anybody
was
like him
fighting.
before.
But yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Pat.
No, I was just saying I've never seen anybody like Kallavan before. Like, he's always calm, cool, and collected, but he will body anything moving.
But yeah,
learned
he
it from
also,
Jihad. What you mean?
Yep, exactly. I feel
Jihad taught him the way.
I feel like that is definitely a factor though that that's something that you see, a personality trait that you see in all the commanders though.
Yeah, I was
Because
gonna say.
when you see Yasuracha, yes, you see all the people that he has in front of him. He has Yama, but he's still like throwing this little jab. Like, they're always very confident in their supreme leader being correct with what he's seen with his foresight and what his plans are, because he's always been right before, right? So why
just going on a
wouldn't you
fucking
put blind faith in somebody like that? So that's why I think their personality traits are always so calm and collected. But that's why I say Kallavan has its different rage inside of him. Not a rage like he's a mad preteen or something like that, but just this thing of, I don't know, something burning inside of
Bro,
him.
he really
He's
be casually saying like,
fucking
"Don't fuck up."
Scary. That's what
Yeah,
it is.
like, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna kill both of your students right here. Like, that's not something
It's not even-
normal. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
It's not
Like,
even
I
that.
just-
When
I
he's
just wanna
talking to
ask,
Karaka
do
and
you-
he's like, I'm gonna take
Do you
both your
guys
fucking
think
arms
it's
off.
because
He's a
Like, I'm like, bro, what are you
No, no, no,
talking
no, no,
about?
no, no,
Hold
no,
on.
no, no, no,
He's
no.
a beast. He's a
He said,
beast.
this is your move? You want to kill the king? This is what you got? I'm like, bro, why y'all doing him like this?
He's talking that
like,
shit.
He's like, if I take
Hey,
both
I'm-
your arms, will you mad?
He's like, bro,
He's
I'm not
talking
gonna
that
lie.
shit.
He can't go to his master with no arms.
Put you
Chill.
on display and show that you
Hold
are
up.
false gods.
Calm
You
down.
guys are not
During
shit.
that whole
I love that
And
shit.
I have to sit there and
What's
I'm,
up, Joey?
I'm sitting here and I'm like, wow, y'all
What's
really
up, Joey?
blew my mad like this. Go ahead, sorry, Joe, I didn't hear you.
Oh, no, you're good. During that whole scuffle, like it was when like Karaka hit him in the back, and then he's like looking at them.
False gods.
He's like one's weak, but like he got good defense, and one's like he got.
He literally was like, "Aren't you a defender?" And then Karaka has the whole flashback about his armor. Like, he's his dome piece, bro.
I really
Like,
thought he was gonna gas him up because
he's like,
when Karaka
"Ain't
did the whole
you a
wave
defender,
style,
bro?"
he was like, that's very impressive. But I was like, ah,
But
no.
he's done that twice already with both of their wave. Because when Bam uses his transcendent right on his arm, he goes, "Damn, I felt that in my body. That was cool." Like, bro, that's got to be a different kind of feeling to transcend in somebody, and they go, "Oh, that gave me goosebumps." Like, ooh.
And the
And they
crazy thing
continue?
is, the whole time he could grow his fucking arm back. That's
Yep.
like,
So even if you blew it up, like, oh, cool.
Wait. Is he using like a Shanks hockey arm right now?
Yeah, that would be fire, kind of. But I mean,
like,
I
because
technically
his arm
think
is
you are
made of that
right.
He's
bravery right
blessed
now,
by
right?
Shinsu, so he can
Yeah,
just fucking-
exactly.
And he got his
Shinsu,
spine fucking a hole in his damn body. Like,
Because
exactly.
it,
Got that right back.
oh yeah, I was also going to say that is like when we're talking about like his rage and his viciousness, you think it's because of the partially like the essence of bravery?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that the essence of bravery is literally like a blood diamond. You know what I mean? It's built on a bunch of like crazy shit.
Gem
I
of
don't
Sirach.
know because like when he met him, like after that whole thing happened in his past, like in Jin Sung Ha met him, he was already like fucking like wild. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Yeah, I
For
think it
sure, but I
I think
also go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that just gives him like the the kind of it gives him the what's the word for it? Like he can go about doing what he needs to do, knowing that the essence of bravery, like he's a fucking tank. Like,
Yeah,
So
for
it
sure.
reminds
But
me-
my issue with it is like the essence of bravery when we got that interaction when he went to where the pool was. We didn't get as much of a backstory as I wish we had. I feel like it was
Right.
just to get Kallavan into the story. But the little bit of backstory we did get is how it was formed and stuff. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's the only reason why I say that. I'm not saying like once again, I'm not saying he's like some bloodthirsty hound that like only
The
sees
essence of
red.
bravery
That's
is
still the
speed.
funniest backstory of all time. That shit was
The
so
thing is, he's one of the strongest people in this tower, and they glazed over something so sacred. I feel like,
I don't think
Well,
they glazed
he'll
over
give
it, though.
revisit it.
They
Yeah.
really put emphasis on that one guy who was the pinnacle of bravery, his muscles and equilibrium. Like, bro, I remember the flashback clearly because we were
Yeah.
calling that shit. Like, they
We
were
were.
death.
He was
Talking
so brave.
about-
He murdered niggas for no reason.
Yeah,
Facts.
I'm like, I see no mercy in his eyes. I see a pool of blood, a bunch of bodies. I'm like, this is the essence of violence, my nigga. Like, this is not no bravery. This is just murder. That shit's so
Yeah,
funny
he
to me.
saw when he touched the gem, he saw memories of the past.
like
whatever, but like,
Fighting better.
But
Bravery just
that
so
being
weird.
said, I just think a lot of times when you're seeing him like kind of wild out and scream, I think that's how he fights. I never really took it as
Yeah.
like a rage or anything. But he was pissed when he was failing his mission. He was upset because when Van Kel
he was
like,
hunched over.
Yeah, he was like,
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you guys are. I don't think you guys get what I'm
This
saying. Once again, I don't think he's a rageful person. It's like something buried deep inside him that will like we did see when he started to lose sight of his goal. He started flipping out.
Yeah.
Like it was. I don't know. It's just not normal. It wasn't a normal characteristic that I saw from him. Like when I saw him fighting Jinsung, I felt like he was way more calm and collected.
Well, the interesting thing about it is like the man who previously had it like sealed himself after he like killed so many people, which is like to me, I feel like Kallavan has always been this person. And I think it's after he joined, like whatever Endori saw in him, whatever Jihad saw in him. I think like after he joined, he kind of calmed himself and learned how to like control. And like I think that's always why he puts like emphasis on it and like always reiterates that point. But yeah, I think there is something deeply like, tragic about.
You guys
it-
think
in him.
after he like, you guys think after he does all this and like it fails and maybe he does kill the whatever commander dude or whatever, he gonna seal himself because like he lost his team.
Seal himself. Nah.
No.
Cool, hey man,
no.
look, full story coming back around. SIU go.
That
Facts.
gem that he has either has to go to like someone else or
He dies with it, or he
Or he
gives
dies
it,
with
or
it.
someone.
Ding Ding is gonna get it, dog.
He dies with it, and it stops the
This man is
cycle.
dangerous.
And that's
Ding Ding
kind
gonna
of an
get the
analogy
essence of
for like the
bravery
cycle
and
of
facts.
violence, like coming to an end. But I don't see it going to anybody else or him
I don't
sealing
think
himself.
I don't think he's falling here. That's like number one. But
Oh, I don't think he's dying here either. I don't either. I don't think a lot of major characters are dying here, but people are gonna get banged up, and people are gonna come out of this looking different.
All right, so the last two things I really want to say, then we can kind of just wrap this up. Is I guess you could speak about the cage being wrapped around by the flagship with the fourth squadron. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. The fourth squadron, and Huaruyun saying that the situation has changed and not gonna be able to fire the needle. So like, I'm just wondering, what do you guys think is gonna happen with that situation, with the cage? Because Yama was just gonna blow it up, like fuck it. Like actually, if you do that, you might kill everybody. Like, oh okay, never mind. Yama was just gonna deal with it himself. But
Telling you, they gonna throw a black hole at it.
the thing that I think interesting about it is now we're gonna have to see. I guess Yama's gonna start having his like his parts in the war. And I think there was a line, if I remember correctly, about them abandoning the cage but keeping the needle firing weapon or whatever. So like, I was wondering what you think's gonna happen with that.
I think it's gonna become an ultimatum. I don't think they're gonna have an easy choice like whatever black hole thing, where they get the best of both worlds. I think he's gonna have to make a tough decision, and I think revenge. I think he just got revenge on it. I got murder on my mind. Like he don't care no more, bro. He just wants to whatever gets him to Yasuracha right now.
They gonna get through that wall no matter what, though.
Exactly. They coming through that wall, bro. Like.
Cause like there was Kun, what's his name? Luch, whatever the fuck his name was.
I know who you're talking about. We're not gonna take a
Oh,
stab at that name.
The one from Hidden Grove, like his role and what the commander has him doing with the flagships or like that, and then the last kind of thing I think that is important is the message from Rob Lucci to Doran. So I guess with those final three things, just I want everyone's thoughts and opinions on that. And maybe we think it's gonna go, and then we'll wrap it up because I want to go smoke.
Me too. I need it. I mean, I said my piece on that. Really, I don't honestly. Not a big fan of the cage. The only development I need after is to see if Paul or Doom, whoever doesn't die, stays back. But aside from that, blow the bitch up and like blow that shit up and get on with it,
Fuck
man.
the people, bro.
Yeah, it's over. The Houndborn aren't interesting enough for me to be like, wow, this ultimatum is gonna mean something. Like they could say we're blowing this shit up and the needle is lost. Oops, who cares? Like
they
I
all
don't
ready
care.
to die. Cause didn't Kan Hong die when Kun was flying the shit?
Kanza?
Yeah, Kanza. Yeah, they're all smoke. Like all the big hit, and not even big hitters, they were ass. But all the technically other big hitters, aside from the top, the three brothers, are gone now,
Just
pretty
remember
much.
this,
So
though.
They gassed him up so
Just
much.
remember this though. Not all dogs go to heaven.
Boo. Anyway, I mean you're right because those were some ugly ass designs, but yeah, that bro. But yeah, I just don't care enough. But what I see happening is there being an ultimatum, and honestly, with the way that Yama talking, that revenge is too sweet. It's too sweet.
That's what I thought. I thought Yasuracha wiped them all out. I was like, oh. Then they were like half. I was like, oh.
Yes, sir. He did a little Thanos on them, you know what I'm saying? But if he wiped all of them out, which I did think that's how it was too, it would have been
Snap
crazy.
your finger, make all dogs go to heaven. Thanks.
But I really just
Wait till Yasuracha tells him, I did you a favor, bro.
Exactly. What you mean, bro? I'm putting that work for you. I know you ain't like him anyways.
I mean, for me,
Now you boosted up.
With all the dogs, I mean, I didn't really care about them that much, but I care about what they mean to Yama. So if he has to go through all of them getting extinguished, then that's going to be kind of sad because he doesn't have the power to make any more canines. Doom does, and Doom looking like he's about to be on the chopping block.
Yeah, Doom about to be on a tombstone, bro.
They're gonna use ding ding.
He's gonna do like I feel like he's gonna die doing whatever like what his sacrifice is gonna be the thing that gets him over the hump to defeat Yasuracha.
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Especially since he's the oldest, the one that knows the dad and has that history.
Yeah, and how
he's just
yeah,
gonna go. He's gonna go.
That man Doom's gonna go full
I would
transformation
be
and implode.
shocked if he does not die. I'll actually be shocked.
If all three of them survive, that would actually throw me for a loop, to be honest.
I think it's possible, but
I think that's trash though.
Mainly though,
they gotta die.
You think?
They gotta die. Some people have to die.
You say you think? Yeah, that would be mega trash. I need to see bodies.
Hey, I'm one thing I do want to say though is because they talked about Paul, them not being. They took both of them to stop Paul when he went on his rampage. Blah 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 blah. And it's like, is this before Yama got his full form? Or
yeah, before. Yeah.
Because even so, this nigga Paul is like on his second first and second transformations, and he got crazy shit like when niggas be on 6 with stuff like that. So
like he's strong. He's probably closer now to like his brother, like was whatever. But still, like Doom's not at full power.
Doom and Yama have we haven't seen a specific trait that Paul has, right? Like Doom has the thing with the Houndborns and controlling,
Fang.
and Yama has the fear factor to his power. You know, like you can't do anything to him if you're scared of him, type thing with his brothers and stuff. But with Paul, like yeah, he's strong, but we haven't seen something yet that's like this is only something Paul has, or this is only something that Paul and the other two can do. So I think once Yama got that full form, it was really a wrap for them. Like they
Yama can
couldn't
use
do
full
anything.
transformation. Doom has the Fang, but more importantly, Doom can control parts of his body that are transformed that are not attached to him. So we don't really know what Paul's specific.
Yeah,
He has a little
that-
four soul green wandering
Exactly.
in the river,
Like
whatever
that-
the fuck he
yeah.
Some
Hey,
his,
forest
his
shit.
his spears do more work than his damn souls with mouths. Like
I gotta admit,
They're gonna
though,
have white
you
souls
know,
too.
he only in transformation 2 right now. I'm
I'm a Paul fan now.
Yeah,
No one's
we're not
disagreeing
knocking
that
it.
Paul could have the really high potential. Paul
Yeah,
but I didn't take the like they had to both stop him from rampaging
exactly. Like
as a big statement because I always think about it like this. It's harder to like say you're strong and fight somebody and you have to capture them. I think it's harder to capture somebody than to kill them.
True.
Yeah,
You don't want to
absolutely.
hurt your brother, so you want to
Absolutely.
pin him
Like that
down
statement
and-
was
Yeah.
he was strong. Like just
Yeah.
take notice that he's not to be fucked with.
Exactly. He's
like-
not.
Yeah,
He's not.
because, like, hold up,
Yeah.
because the thing I'm thinking is like, for one, he's obviously gotten stronger since then.
Absolutely.
At
He
that
said
point
so
in
himself.
time,
Yeah.
Y'all all
at
leave
that
me behind.
point in time, I wouldn't say Doom was weaker than when he fought Yama, because like Doom was always kind of at his strong peak, and then
Mhm.
Yama caught up and surpassed him.
Mhm.
So, and then the way Doom was talking, it made it seem like he hasn't even seen this dude do like a transformation 2 or 3 or etc. It just seems like he transformed
It
barely one time and just went
It
crazy.
seems like since that moment he
Yeah,
hasn't
he
done it
had-
again. But remember,
Yeah.
Yama sealed thing and Paul wasn't in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
How would he fucking know? He has no idea what
Paul,
even
Paul pulled back up. Like he wasn't there. Like
Yeah.
he pulled back up inside the mouth of that cat thing, whatever the fuck that thing is.
Yeah, the little
Nyan Nyan.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever he was
I
transporting.
think,
himself to.
yeah, but like I definitely get that, because like even if you could say that like Paul somehow got stronger, or
You have to forever remember.
Paul, if you were to give him
Yeah,
a full,
but you have to forever remember they based a plan around Yama not being awake. I don't
Yeah.
care. That's pussy shit. I can never look at them the same. Yeah, they're flexing, but Yama will forever have their number because of stuff like that.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, but
It's
you
not like
also
Yama
gotta
was
remember,
away on a business trip. He was asleep. That was
Yeah.
that was. I
Yeah.
hope he don't wake up.
I hope he doesn't wake up. Like,
Hey,
yeah,
man. Yano said he
then
got
again,
it.
it takes a lot to wake that nigga up, apparently. 'cause
Yeah,
the
Blackfoot
niggas
was
just
like,
going
"It's all
crazy.
good, bro. Part of the plan."
we're chilling.
Before
We're
he
chilling.
lost the leg.
Hold on now. Wait.
Bam.
This band guy's fucking everything up.
And you also got to think about the
Wait,
fact
don't
if
start
his
him.
passive, if his passive is that fear ability, like waking him up is damn near. It would like be shitty retarded, because nigga, if you fear him, trying to wake him up, you're not doing shit.
So stop being pussy. Don't be scared.
Facts.
That's all I have to do.
Yeah, you say that to the floating eye, whatever the fuck that shit was that they showed in that fucking silhouette.
You have to remember, if I'm in this story, I'm in a regular. I ain't worried about Yama.
Shut
Yeah.
your ass up.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
God.
exactly how Bam was too. That's facts.
Let's wrap it up. He talking about being in a regular now.
Hey, that's no cap.
I'm Neo in the Matrix. No,
Hey, we-
Let's wrap it up. He
me
talking
and-
down his neck
me
now.
and-
Me and Naya full of
Boy, you should be Zooey. Let's wrap it up.
I throw a fucking bubble and say,
Deadly arts looking ass. Let's
Hey,
wrap
Naya.
it up.
Hey,
Naya,
I'm
tell
Croc,
him
and I woke that
pull
nigga
up to the
so.
tower like the 12 disciples. Facts.
I'm coming to the tower with nothing but guns.
Oh God, you gonna have that? You gonna be a sniper bearer?
Bro, you got to think about it. Like Jihad really came in the tower with like 13 other niggas that was a regular. You saying me and Naya can't pull up his two? What you talking about?
Oh,
Come on now.
jeez, bro.
That's a dynamic duo.
I'm not Naya.
A billion
facts.
niggas in the tower, y'all special. All right, bro.
I'm saying
Look,
these
I'm trying
crackers.
to
Look,
get everybody tell me
It's
that
not
I'm
my fault you
different
ain't got
every fight I'm
confidence in
in,
your
bro.
irregular ability.
He's different. His Shinsu feels overwhelming. Shut your ass up.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna
right,
pull up over
boys. It was
9,000.
a great conversation. That was a great Tower God cast. I'm gonna
Do
head
we
out,
have
brothers.
any? Do we have any fight?
I'll make
Anything to
over
say about
9,000
Rob Lucci?
bangs.
Rob
Oh,
Lucci?
no.
You got anything to say about that comment?
And
The Doe one? Do we care? I guess not.
No.
What about
No.
the traitor Kun that's in the engine
That
room
nigga a
right now?
bitch.
What do you feel about him? Do you care about
Is he
him?
about to die?
What's he gonna do?
I don't even know,
What's he
bro.
gonna- Yeah,
But didn't they?
if he's in
Didn't
there,
wasn't?
is he finna blow up? Like
That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. What are you
hold
doing
on,
in there, bro?
It's not gonna
Well,
blow
it's
up.
weird though,
You got a
because like it. Hold up, it's weird though because it almost made it seem like in that message when he was talking, like he was gonna release his friends if he did this. Like if he went and blew up. Like, am I the only one who got that from that?
No. That's what. Yeah, that's what that was like.
Yeah, but like it's like
He ain't
my
doing
nigga,
shit.
you betrayed him in the first place. They would have never been locked up.
Bro, the whole
Yeah,
Hidden
they would
Grove, bro.
they would have got him like either way. Like
Aside from Child, the rest of them they just been on some dumbass shit. Like these niggas is not war heroes, bro.
Oh God! I just hope the rat clone is something special with ancient power, and he finally speaks some sense into Rack or something. Because
Yes.
him and Cha are the only two I give a shit about. All those other
Floating rock
bozos, all those other bozos, I
That
don't need to
nigga
hear
Rock be
nothing
like,
about
that's my
that.
dad.
They literally looks like
That's
his
my
dad
dad,
with
yo.
fur, like.
That's my dad.
But
Motherfuckers
yeah, we need more ties to the ancient power.
1,000 years before they even get picked and still be trash.
But that was a great talk, brothers. I'm gonna head out.
All right, yo.
Alright, bro.
Adios.
Power of war.
What do you guys think about the last thing I asked you guys? I guess. So, what do you guys think about the Windbird and the leader of the Windbird?
The
branch?
branch family?
You
Love
impressed by him
Potion?
at all? Yes, no.
No, I mean his ability is cool as shit, especially when you see the scaled shots from like a distance and how tiny Doom and Paul are. Like that shit, and like yeah, it's a cool ability, like to be able to combine yourself with your fucking familiar and all that shit. But at the same time, that dude was a battery for white. So I mean, like
A battery. A battery.
That nigga is a double D battery.
Yeah, they should have left him at home, to be honest, because if they
For
didn't bring
real.
that local
A
BM
9 volt that you plug in the
White would
remote.
not be in
like
his prime right now.
how are you a whole branch family? Like you've been alive for how long? You fighting all these battles, and you went out like. I mean, that plan was smart. That was good, but he was kind of raging all over the place. He was like, "You can't, like, you think you can just?" I'm like, bro.
That nigga was literally a lipo for a
He
lightsaber
was
that
just
you bought.
cracking the whip. Like, what was like, how dare you fucking dog? Like, bro,
That's what I'm
relax.
saying.
And with discrimination.
Calm down over there. Calm it down. Like, what is he doing?
For real.
He was a little too
He was showing
racist. Hold on.
animal discrimination. Just start whipping on folks.
Hate to see it.
That nigga died in like the other like 4 commander. He was like, "All right, next play, like chess pieces, bro." Like, man, not
But what's crazy to me though is like I'm starting to wonder because like we got, for example, we know we got like I'm thinking like mainly the top 150 is floor administrators, right? At least in my mind, this is what I'm thinking about because we know that like after Ivanka Hill supposedly lost hers, she synonymously kind of got dropped.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking like they're probably mostly floor administrators and things like that, or like commanders, etc. But it's like, who are these people? Because they definitely can't all just be like family. From what we've seen, Lopo be a family head nigga. That nigga doesn't even seem like he's top 100. So it's like
he's probably like top.
My point is like, who are we gonna get to fill it?
Right?
So,
because that sniper lady was trying to become one, wasn't she? But
yeah, she was trying to get into the top 300 or whatever.
It could be one of those things where it's like, yeah, the title is impressive, but you're gonna have to go by each person individually, take them in a vacuum, and see what they've actually done. Like,
yeah, but that's what I'm getting to is like, if we getting something like a branch leader, that even if so they go out like this, it's just I feel like this is really subpar.
I didn't think he went out badly.
Yeah,
I thought
like
I just thought that like Shisui said, like he just wasn't like, you fucking dog, like how dare you talk about, like, just levels up with him. Like he just wasn't cool. You know, like that's really my issue. Like I thought, like he said that like his anima was cool, the display of his abilities and whatnot was cool, but he wasn't cool himself. That really was the problem. I just think
Cause, bro, if we being honest, do you think that thing is like beating the Vanka Hill?
nope.
No.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that's what
Hell
I'm
no.
saying. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Oh,
I don't
like
see
the dog
him
thing?
being in the
Dog
top
thing improved?
100.
I mean-
like even with him and his Wimber, if Vanka Hill was still just like in that fight by herself, I don't see him beating her.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think anybody's really beating.
Yeah, we're talking about someone who's in the top 100, right?
Yeah,
And like the Kallavan's there on that level, Jusun, whatever.
yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, if a branch leader of like a 10 great family is not in that top 100, who the fuck is the people that's actually there?
Oh,
That's what I'm starting to wonder if it's just more random people out there throughout the tower that's just strong as fuck like
You remember
that.
what Bam
Oh
said?
yeah.
You remember when Bam was coming from the beginning of season 3? Bam met a lot of people or he learned about a lot of people that are just OD powerful and nobody even knows about them. They're not even like people that are like ranked and whatnot, like mad co-heads and shit like that. So hell yeah, there's mad people that are just, you know what I'm saying?
We've also only gone to the 134.
She was a.
Yeah,
She
it's
was a low
just
phobia
starting to make me think like, what other crazy powers are we gonna see outside of these
I think we have to kind of reevaluate our stances in a lot of things, because to me, like I said earlier, I'm at the point now where I'm not gonna, I can't just see a title now and be impressed, and a number and be impressed. I'm just gonna see what you do, and then I'm gonna go from there, because I can see a family name. Oh, Tasha's family name. Like, this guy wasn't impressive to me. Like,
yeah.
I expected more from this person. I do also remind myself, your ranking is recognition, power, and influence. One could be more important than the other.
Right.
Evan is not throwing hands with the top 100 people. He's an item merchant and a great silver dwarf, but he's not He's not even stronger than Yuri, right? So
he's around Yuri, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Karaka shook though.
Karaka is really like, see, the thing about Karaka is he's just I don't know why they give him the high ranker title, and now it just looks worse. If he was if he was still just ranker, I could live with that.
Advanced ranker, yeah, it would have been clean.
Not
yeah.
even just advanced ranker, because I wanted him to use this war and show out, and then that gets him to the next
I don't
step.
know. Yeah,
level
it's
up.
kind of
For him
weird.
to
It's
become
like,
that off screen for God knows what reason, and now I gotta see him get dissed and batted up like this, bro. What am I looking at? This is
I'm thinking about
this is so disrespectful to me.
it's like it's kind of because like when you think about it, it's making everything outside of like top 500 maybe look trash, like just in general, because you go look at other high rankers, like what's the second command in Yama's army, like
El Patio.
like
and Yama's
that nigga was low key seeming garbage too. When I was watching, I'm like, this is a high rank.
It's a Kanzan, that nigga.
Oh,
no, that's
hands
the
on.
third command.
Yeah, no, Gado's the second.
We could absolutely beat fucking Godot. I could take him. I could beat him.
No, but like
he's that.
that's what I'm saying is like,
I know I could beat him.
like, and Bam was cutting him with like a level 1 transformation.
Red Dresser transformation. Yeah, exactly.
That no blue, no
thorn,
extra,
no, yeah, exactly.
no double thorn sold up. Like this,
he's definitely waxing that nigga for sure.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
say this though, that wasn't shocking to me because the Red Dresser did cut Yuri, and that's the only thing we saw pierce her skin in the whole narrative so far. So the Red Dresser has extreme cutting ability. So it didn't bother me. So that's why when him and Kallavan clashed, I'm like, did that cut him? And it didn't.
Yeah, I saw you. Yeah.
And then I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a flashback of him hurting Urek, and the more I think about that scene, the less that scene makes any type of sense to me. But it is what it is.
Oh, actually,
wait, Heljo cut? Was it Heljo that cut Yuri?
Yeah, but Heljo was channeling the power of the Wrestler, right? So that's
right.
That's really
but I think he was more advanced.
I've actually seen Reddit theory about this before, where someone was trying to like, they were putting it into words, like pretty much how it works. So they were saying even though they're saying they're calling it transcendent powers, they're not talking about transcendent skills. They're saying like transcendent beyond normal Shinsu. But Inaru's Thorn, which they call a limited or fake Axis, because an actual Axis in the series is someone who can pretty much controls a field.
Yeah.
The Thorn, they're saying that the Thorn has a power which it makes a pretty much a limited access in which power anything inside of it cannot be negated or denied, which is the same.
Don't like the Tower God theory.
No,
I don't think
just
he has
hear
that
this
level
out.
of control yet.
Just hear this out, and it would be the reason why Inaru was strong enough to kill an administrators, because his own power couldn't be negated or denied. He was basically equal to one within that limited access.
You see, I forgot to say this earlier because I lost train of thought because you were talking about Bam, whatever, and his irregular growth, whatever, right?
Mhm.
I don't necessarily know or think or know or believe that Bam is climbing the tower in a way that's any more or less impressive than the other irregular contemporaries that he has. And the reason why I say that is because I think that every irregular has something about them that makes them unique in the tower. Whether it's Jinsung being like, yo, there's some shit around us, bro. And he was smart enough to be able to record Shinsu, Ratio can accelerate Shinsu. High Urine is probably a very good physical fighter, half family type shit. Like everyone has their own thing. With Enryu, I just think there's something. I don't think it was a thorn or something. I just think he had something made him different, that he was able to kill administrators, or that
he's different. I think it's Jesus.
Made him different. Jihad's charisma or whatever made him king in the tower. I think Bam's special ability is just I don't know if it's to copy everything he sees easily or to have 800 power sources within him. And it doesn't.
And that nigga Ichigo times 3.
I feel like every irregular has something that makes them unique. Urek is throwing Shinshu at the speed of fucking light. He's different.
Going off that, what Naya was saying, it's I still don't see Bam special outside of his father and mother. I feel like with those two things and everything he's gained with all these abilities that have been given to him, that's kind of within his range. I mean, yes, I don't like the way it happens. I don't like the way it gets executed sometimes, where he just whips out a blue shield, where he manifests abilities and it just appears. But I do have to say, I haven't seen something where I'm okay, yeah, he's different from the irregulars. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, because the thing is the whole irregular. The whole how'd I put it? All the regulars that came in after Jihad or whatever, because we know they're considered to be irregulars, but the actual term wasn't created until after his kingdom was made, pretty much. So the whole irregular thing of them coming into the towers, they were all. It seems like they were all extremely OP in comparison to the Jihad's group coming in for some reason. So,
wait, who is?
Wait, you lost me. What? Run that
okay,
back. Sorry.
So I'm gonna head out. My bad, guys.
Thank you for coming, man.
Good discussion. Love you, Hems. Love you, Pat.
So basically, Jihad's group, just like how what's his name said, the God Guardian said, Yurik was stronger than him when he came in.
Oh, he don't. Yeah.
Yurik was the strongest one that he seen when he came inside. The pretty much the what is it called? Train already.
Well. I see.
When he led Revolution and whatnot.
Yeah, right. He was the strongest. He was the strongest one that learned Revolution. He hasn't mentioned anything.
Well,
I don't think Inaru or Phantominium ever did the train. If they did go up,
no. Phantominium came outside the tower.
They didn't all go, and he's an Axis, so you can just do that.
Yeah, exactly. He did whatever the fuck. Yeah, and
we don't know if he's an Axis before he goes inside the tower or after.
No, because he's supposed to be. I think I know there's a Tail user story universe. I'm planning on talking about that.
Yeah, I've read everything about the Axis.
If I remember correctly, he already stated Phantominium is the protagonist of some other story. Came into the tower, did his own thing, left, which is why he's you might not even see him again. That's it. That might be
he's for sure he doesn't want to see him. But I think wasn't Yurik already full
yes,
I think it was already strong outside.
He was literally which goes to my point to say that when people were talking about Phantominium inside the tower, they was nah, you're nowhere near him. Have you seen him fight inside the tower? Because he was talking about how he fought Phantominium outside the tower. So my inference was that Phantominium awoken sometime in the tower to become an Axis, because Yurik was actually following him in the tower. At least that's what they were. That's what's
I
inferred.
I don't. Yeah, I
But
don't know.
I don't recall anything
know
saying
about
they had
that.
already fought. I just know that Urek followed him into the tower.
Yurik is the one who said, "Have you seen me fight Phantominium?" And we know that he followed him into the tower. At least that's what's given to us by SIU.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, I'm not sure about
but
that.
part of the reason why I'm so I'm not saying you're completely wrong or anything. I'm kind of apprehensive because I just don't give a fuck about his blog posts at this point. They just don't mean shit.
I'm weak.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all over the place. There's no consistency. They just don't mean shit to me. I don't read them anymore. I stopped. I really did.
Nah, but
Because
that
they're
like
actually
all that
ruining-
wasn't really the
they're
point.
actually
The
and
ruining the
Phantom,
story for me.
that character, Phantom, like he's like an out, like, to me he doesn't really exist like within the story, so I don't really have any like reason to kind of like, he's cool learning information about him, but I feel like, and for me Enryu is the top of like the point. I do get what you're saying though and the point you're making, but it's just like those are my thoughts.
Yeah,
like,
I don't.
No, that wasn't really
I
the
just don't
point.
recall them fighting beforehand because
The point of that wasn't really the point. The point was to say that it seems like every regular after Jihad's group of regulars
yeah, that
are extremely strong.
extremely strong. Yeah, I
That's
know.
Yurik, Phantominium, and Inaru are literally on an entirely another level. And
Yeah.
Yurik says by himself that he could beat Jihad, he just doesn't want to.
Whoa,
But
whoa. Hold on. Now you
Yurik
didn't say
does
anything
state
like that. No, he does
he
not.
he does state that.
What you talking about when he was talking to Gustang?
Uh, I forgot when he was talking to him. Hold up. He did state that he could beat Jihad, but he doesn't want to.
No, I'm pretty sure.
he
like,
never
I'm
said that.
yeah,
I'm
pretty.
pretty sure that's a blog post where he mentioned something like along the lines of that.
Like that's like half right. Like he doesn't want to, but I don't know. But he could beat him.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to be the king of the tower. But yeah, we don't entirely sure. Like, I have no doubt.
He's
Like,
not interested in that.
you're probably in a straight up fight without like Jihad's all his weapons and shit, like knowledge that he's accumulated. Like, sure, but like, because like Jihad is, sneaker sneak, all that type of other shit. Like, I don't know, but yeah, that is a good thing. Good question.
Yeah. But anywho, any final comments?
I love how we deviated from Karaka. That's who we originally. This went from Karaka to Baam to you. Wow.
I don't even know how we got here, but it is what it is. Rex that nigga. But yeah, he didn't. I'm trying to like he didn't. A lot of these things you're saying, I don't. He never said out of his mouth. That's probably that Saeed that said it in some blog post somewhere, and
I'm gonna find
that doesn't mean anything to me.
Nah, don't do that.
I know he said that you haven't seen me fight him, but not in the tower.
No, but that was the point. The point was never really about Phantominium in the first place.
Yeah, it was about how regulars that outside of the
the regulars that came in after seemed to have been on a totally different level than where.
But we already know. We already know that because we kind of make an inference because technically speaking, like Jihad, like his group aren't like full irregulars, however you want to put it that way. We don't actually know the context of that.
You wouldn't say Gustang actually recording Shinsu is incredibly significant. I don't really care. Like,
no. Their ability
that's significant. That's extremely smart, but that doesn't apply for like crazy power coming inside the tower.
Wait. Hold on. Yeah, let me. No, I'm in the middle here. I'm in the middle.
That is incredible intellect, insight, and understanding of your surroundings. Like,
make no mistake.
Enryu, Phantominium, Urek, completely different. I don't think they lose to any of the Tengri family leaders. I think if they have to fight Jihad, it's I win, loss, or draw. I don't have any stance on that point.
Right.
These other families are just as impressive because they all just in, like Kuned one by the time he reached the hidden floor had 3 Shinsu qualities already.
Exactly.
How many does he have now? Like, don't do that. They're all impressive in their own right.
They're all.
I didn't say they weren't.
I don't want to undermine.
I just said they weren't.
I don't want to undermine them because I haven't even seen what they've done yet. I know Urek climbed it.
Hold up, but I never said they were unimpressive. Like,
okay, fair enough.
What I do know is that nigga Enryu waxing all these niggas.
That's what I'm saying. It's like specifically Inaru and Phantominium are legit came in on a entirely different level. And Yurik himself climbed the tower the fastest because he pretty much came in at his strength, damn near.
Like, Jihad's not beating an administrator. Enryu did they
all have a feat that the other one doesn't have, right? So now we're having the go conversation about generations. John generation, he came in with 12 other niggas, did his own thing. contract, King of the Tower, can't hurt me.
Yeah.
Rex said, yo, I want to do this shit in record time. And he was like, you know what?
They're all
I'm
impressive,
gonna do something no one's ever done. I have a feat here. Madison Square Garden killed an administrator. Fuck with me. So it's like, yo, they've all done something the other hasn't done. That's why to me, if you're like, yo, who do you think is gonna win? Urek or Jahab? I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked by any outcome, whether they draw,
Yeah,
whether
for sure,
whether
for sure.
Urek wins or loses. I'm not shocked by any outcome. That's just my stance.
Yeah.
And I don't think that being immortal makes you unbeatable. I've always
Yeah.
held that.
No, I didn't say he was.
No,
No,
but some people are like, but he can't kill him. Like, so what? You can seal him. You can knock him out. You can dismantle him.
and actually, we don't even know if that applies for Urek. That Urek can't
No,
kill
but
him.
he's not a regular. But I'm saying the contract is her residence in the tower, so we know that a
Yeah,
regular.
okay.
But my point was just that people always think that just because you can't die, you can't lose, and that's not true.
Right.
All right, final comments. We can wrap this up.
Nah.
All right, bye.